So they're younger than what he's used to coaching. Why do you think he's been able to gel with them so well?
I mean, everybody has their own style, and I think when he got in here, he had a certain list of things that he wanted to get done early on, and I think he's done that. He's let his personality go, which has been great. And each year you have a different set of dynamics at play, coaches and players, and that journey has its own story. So I think he understands more than anybody that the season's just begun now. We're just getting started here. We've had the first half of the year, and that's great. But this is what really matters. And his history of coaching in the NFL, helps him give some perspective to everybody of just how long of a run this is. Those of us who went through it last year, that's one thing. But he's done it for multiple years, and you got to keep building each week. And I know that he understands that, and he's continuing to talk to the staff and the players about that as well.
Ryan, when you've gone to using multiple fronts on defense and having those different looks, how much of that was being able to have somebody like Harvell Reese and his skill set, or was it, I guess, how does that dovetail with somebody like his skill set?
In terms of what we're doing?
Yeah, because when you were talking about you wanted to use multiple fronts this year and have more versatility up front, and in the back of your mind was the fact that you had somebody like Harvell on the roster who would fit into that idea?
Yeah, I think you always want to put the best players you can on the field to do their job the best they can. So what does that mean? Well, I think sometimes you recruit to certain schemes, but then you also want to make sure you're doing things that put guys in situations that can be successful. And what I mean by that is if somebody is a really, really good football player but maybe a non-fit schematically, do you add them to the team? And I think you always want to acquire talent the best you can. It's the coach's job to put them in a position to be successful. So you're seeing, I think this year, last year we had, Jack, JT, Ty, and Tyleek, and it was 4 down, and that's kind of what it looked like most of the plays. Now you're seeing, different guys with different skill sets who can do versatile things, and Arvell's one of those guys, and our coaches are making sure that we're putting those guys in those positions. So that's all part of the conversation. But bringing Matt in was important because he had a history of doing that.
Coach, when you look at Penn State, obviously not going the way they had hoped, but at the start of the year ranked number 2 in the country. They've got talented guys on that team. How do you convey that to your kids that, and every week we see chaos? Yeah,
well, it's already been conveyed to them, and it'll continue to be conveyed. We have a 2:30 meeting here, as you know. Tuesdays are a big day. We'll go through, what we think in terms of all 3 phases, but we know that this is, one of the top 5-10 teams in the country. I don't think there's many teams in the country that have more talent than Penn State has, and I think people recognize that early in the season. Sure, it hasn't gone the way they've wanted it to, but that doesn't change that they still have really good players. And when you looked at this game, a few months ago, I mean, it was an absolute matchup game. That has not changed. It's still the same players other than the quarterback. And so our guys know that, they understand that, and they know that it's about us. It's not about our opponent. And so we'll focus on our preparation, but you need to know your opponent. And these are very, very talented players. And they have a lot of NFL players, and we know they have really good coaches. So all of that's going to lead into a huge matchup game for us on Saturday.
When you face a team that's also coming off of a bye week, a team that really needs to find a way to win a game, is there an element of expecting the unexpected?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they really have a nothing to lose mentality, so we have to be on high alert at all times for things. They have 2 weeks to put together different things on offense, defense, and special teams that they haven't put on film. We know that. And certainly when you have a coaching change like they did, we expect that. So like you said, you have to expect the unexpected, be on high alert, know that they sort of have that mentality going into the game. And so all of those things matter. At the end of the day, you still got to go play the play, and you don't know what's going to come, but we have to understand what our opponent is, and the fact that they've had 2 weeks to prepare and change up the looks.
Yeah, Ryan, during the off week, what were your evaluations of right guard spot, and what do you think that looks like in performance of 42?
Well, I think that Josh Padilla has continued to practice well. When he's gotten to games, he's played well. He's not perfect, and so we feel like he has an opportunity to mix in there as the 6th offensive lineman in the game like he's been the last few games. We'll continue to evaluate it this week and figure out what gives us the best chance to win, but he certainly has played into one of our top 6 players.
I think it was this summer where Larry mentioned that the challenge of replacing 4 NFL starters kind of like re-energized him coming into this season. I'm curious in what ways you've seen that from him, and if you think that's trickled down to his room and kind of helped it step up the way they have.
Well, I think for him, this style of defense is just a little bit different. So I think it's given him a little bit of a challenge to learn something new. You're seeing it's not just all 4 down front, although you still see a lot of 4 down front. So there's still so many things that he teaches that's the same way that it's been his whole career. But he's also getting challenged in other areas, and I think for him, it's exciting because it is something a little new, and where he's at in his career, there's so many things that he can bring to the table, but also pick up in terms of new ideas and thoughts. And I think to your point, it has re-energized him.
And you have not seemed overly concerned or panicked about the run game. It's been a big topic of conversation outside this building. And you mentioned something a couple weeks ago about maybe not scheming up explosives that I thought was interesting. But also, like, the base plays could hit. What would be your level of concern or optimism about where the run game's going right now?
Well, I say it all the time. That every play we want to score a touchdown on. So every play should be an explosive in my mind. And when we're out at the practice field and on the scout team and it doesn't go for an explosive, it's like, why? Something broke down. So our execution level has got to increase just across the board. And so, yeah, there's always the balance of, you try to create explosives and then you put yourself at risk of turnovers. And controlling the ball, making sure, you're playing to your defense, all those things come into play. We know that, we're going to have to be explosive on offense and figure out ways to do that. And so I think, during the bye week, we've been able to look at the things that we've done well and the areas we got to get better at. Everybody's involved with the run game. It's not an easy thing. And, I think, it's been good. Has it been great? No, it hasn't been great. We can get better. I think that's everybody involved, including the quarterback, the receivers, the tight ends, the running backs, and obviously the offensive line. So all areas that we want to get better at in terms of being explosive, being efficient. But I say to the running backs a lot, like the first 4 yards are for the team, and then the rest of it, you got to go trust your God-given ability. And so some of the things in the last game, they put an extra guy in the box, and the RPO led us to throw the ball. Those don't show up in the running statistics, but when you have a quarterback who has the ability to run, you saw him pull. We read an end. We'll do some more of that with Julian. But he also can read some off the line defenders, and so like when you look at the running statistics, we look at them just a little bit different because if they're leaving one-on-one on the outside and put an extra guy in the box and we're hitting, an 8-yard hitch to Jeremiah, that's really the run game, because it complements. So to answer your question, yeah, it's been good. It hasn't been great. We need to get better at it. We want to create more explosives.
Random question about your bye weekend. I saw on Facebook that you went through a corn maze of your image. Two-part, can you confirm that's not one of these AI Ryan Day Facebook pics? And 2, where does walking through a corn maze of your own image rank on a scale from 1 to I finally made it?
Well, I've read a lot of things on the internet, AI, that are not true. So I would say that it's hitting about 20%, but that actually is true. We actually that's been something we've been doing as a family yearly, and the folks out there at the corn maze had said, every year they do a corn maze and they use somebody different. It was Jack Nicholas one year. They've done Ohio State theme for however many years, and they said, you win a national championship, then we'll do one of you. And so they held up their end of the bargain. So we went out there for a little while. I tried to be normal as a family. It wasn't normal because the kids were throwing corn at each other when we were in the maze and everything else. But but it was great. It's great to do things like that when we're in the Woody during the season, just to get away even for a couple hours, because we call it the submarine right here. Like, this is where we are. We don't go out in public. We don't do much. But to hear the people there talk about how we're glad that Ohio State's on a bye week because we get a lot more people here than when they're playing. on Saturdays, there's nobody here, and it's a great opportunity to get an idea of kind of how important football is in the community. But yeah, it was good to get a little bit of perspective walking away for at least for a couple hours, anyways. I didn't do the haunt though. Although I did a couple years ago, and we were going through the haunt, and it's quite an experience. And at one point, somebody with a mask jumps up right here, and they're like, "Coach Day?" I was like, man, I got to get the heck out of here. So I said, I'm going to pass this year, let the kids do it, and Nina and I waited. So, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just wanted to ask if you had the opportunity to meet Nick Mangold. I know you talked about it earlier in the press conference, but if not, maybe stories you've heard about him. Just thoughts on him.
Yeah, I have an unbelievable amount of respect for him as a man and as a football player. And we talk about leaving legacies behind. When you hear that name in this building right here, people stand up straight. This is a guy who had a tremendous amount of character and left a lot of that behind. He didn't just go through this place. He left a work ethic. He left a leadership. He left a discipline, and certainly a body of work on the field. And I know, everybody in Buckeye Nation is mourning his loss, and then obviously what he did in the NFL, and just all the people that were able to have him as a teammate speak so highly of him, and so he's going to be dearly missed.
Ryan, it seemed like against Wisconsin that Isaiah West gave you some of the better yards after contact and make you miss kind of stuff that you've got so far this year. How much can a back work on that kind of stuff during the season, and how much of it just sort of you got it or you don't?
I think it's a good question. It's our job as coaches to figure that out right there, and so we try to create drills. We watch it on film. We look to work it in the body of a practice, of a thud, of an inside drill. When do you make somebody miss? When do you drop your shoulder, run them over? What are the tools that the coaches are giving you in order to do a good job of yards after contact? And that's sort of how you're judged as a running back. Not 100%, but that's a big part of it. And I think we're getting better in that area. We're drilling it more, and we want to see that more on the film.
Kind of a two-part thing here. You started, when did you realize Knowles was probably not coming back here, and then kind of building off of that? This is your fourth defensive coordinator hire. You've always mentioned this idea of making sure you have the right guys in the right seats. Just the best guys, but this is Ohio State, you're typically going to get that. But that understanding of what your defense needs for that period of time when there's a lack of leadership, what that team needs versus when you hired Halfley versus hiring Kerry Combs, Jim Knowles, and now Matt Patricia. That thought process, that philosophy of going about it that way.
You learn every year. And I think people ask me a lot, when every year, what have you learned the most? One of the top three things is when you make hires. I think maybe early on, you'd make decisions based on a recruit or two, or maybe the public sentiment, where you got to do what's best for your team. And I think continuity is important, but we also got to do what's best. But there also is another part of it too, and the guys have to feel like you're doing everything you possibly can to make sure, you're bringing in the best guy to help them. And, whether it is somebody that, people around the program, because again, you talk about fans, you talk about the boosters, you talk about people in the building, you talk about parents of recruits, you talk about the players, their parents. Everybody has opinions on all those things, and nowadays people can decide to come and go, through the transfer portal. So we have to take all those things into consideration when we're making a hire. But at the end of the day, we have to make the best hire for Ohio State, period. And I watched, Coach Saban was really good at it, in my opinion. All of those great runs that he made each year, he would have guys picked off of his staff, and then he was very thorough about how he hired the next one. And I'm sure he would say, some were better than others, but making sure that in that moment we're not rushing in to make a decision. And I think you saw that with Matt. There was a lag time between when Jim left and when we hired Matt, where I think a lot of people were like, man, he's going to hire one here pretty soon, But it left us in a tough spot because the hiring cycle was already sort of done, and so it was so late. But the fact that Matt was available, man, it ended up being a home run. And so just being thorough and making sure we're doing what's right by the players. I think getting some of their feedback is important. Talking to Caleb, talking to Sonny, what do you guys think about this? And then the last part, which is probably the most important part, is getting the feedback of the assistant coaches. Because, Tim, James, Larry, Matt, they have to work with whoever this guy is who comes in. And that's probably the part that maybe isn't getting recognized enough. Because, yeah, Jim did a great job last year. Matt's doing a great job this year. But what's the common denominator? Those coaches and the players. So I think we have the best defensive coaching staff in America, and I think sometimes, they don't get recognized enough. Not that, we're in it to get recognized, but those guys have put the work in behind the scenes, and they're doing a great job. So it's a long answer, but that's kind of some of the things that went into it.
Kind of another question along those lines. You're going against Jim Knowles, obviously, who was successful here. But even after losing 8 starters, the defense under Matt Patricia is even better. What is it about him schematically, what he's done schematically, and what is it maybe in terms of his personality and building chemistry and a bond with players that's enabled that to happen?
I think it's all of the above, and we still have a lot of football to play. So the story's yet to be told, but I think it's a simple answer. It's not easy to do, but you have to build trust. And how do you build trust? I think, for Matt coming in, he had a certain level of credibility because of his past and his resume. But when he came in and he let his personality go and he connected with the people in the building, I think that's, early on what gave him some early wins. And then, we played well early in the season, and there was belief there, and then there was confidence built in. And so, that combined with Sonny, Caleb, KJ, Caden, IGB, guys who have been it before that can bring guys along and make them better, which I think is a sign of a really good player when they make others better. And I think that has had a huge part of this. When Jalen's next to Caleb, he feels stronger. When Lorenzo's next to Jermaine, they feel stronger together. When Arvell's next to Sonny, he feels stronger. Now that we're halfway through the season, I think that we know what we have with these guys, and they have confidence, and now they're bringing other people along. But then the other part of it is the staff, and these guys work hard, and Matt puts together the plan and does a great job. But those are the guys that are, on the front lines fighting the battles every day to make sure that their guys are great out champions.
When you're preparing for a defense with a coordinator that you're familiar with, how valuable is the self-scouting you've done in years past and helping you game plan for that? Is it valuable at all? Can you still put a lot of stock into that at all?
Yeah, we look at everything, and I know they do too. And so sometimes when you have so many years against somebody, you have so much stuff that you can get yourself distracted. It's going to come down to fundamentals in this game, as we know. He will definitely have some curveballs. He always does. So we have to identify what those are early on and then go from there.
Ryan, Dom asked you earlier about sort of the mental preparation for this Penn State team. You guys this season have kind of gone about your business every week. You've talked about it, but it would be easy as the defending national champions, 7-0, all this, for guys to have a letdown. Why has that not happened week in, week out in this sport?
Well, the first thing about football is you only have so many opportunities. So, we have 12 that are guaranteed. That's it. And we work really hard around here to have those opportunities. And these guys have worked their entire life for these opportunities. And nothing's guaranteed in life. If we didn't learn anything from this past week, nothing's guaranteed. So we have to live every day like it's our last game. That's the way we have to look at it. And so we have to be in the moment, and we have to master the process of week in and week out. And the test is on Saturday. And so you've heard me say it before, again, not flashy, but being disciplined enough to continually do it week in and week out and being consistent. So that's the message. Not easy, but I think our guys are up for the challenge. But it all comes down to the way we train. That's why 2 hours from now we got to have a great meeting. We got to get going. We got to have a great practice, and then we'll get an idea what's going to happen this week. But we have to continue to upgrade as players. We have to upgrade as coaches. We have to upgrade as teams, in terms of offense, defense, and special teams. And then we have to continue to play really, really hard. And that's it. There's nothing magical about it, and people are going to say, what's the key to this game? Well, taking care of the football, stopping a run, running the ball. I mean, those things aren't changing. It's a society that wants something new, wants something that's flashy, but it's those things that are going to make the difference in the end. So we have to keep bringing it to the table every week and be consistent.
When you look at Kane McDonald and his ability to stop the run this year, how helpful has that been on this defensive line? You needed someone to step up there, and it really seems like he's taking that on.
Yeah, he's growing each week. I think he still has a high ceiling. I think he still could be an even more productive player, but you're seeing the capability there, and you're seeing them become more consistent. And like we said, great defenses are built from inside out, and he's a big part of our defense. We know that. He knows that. And so we need that consistency out of him, but you guys see the potential just like we do. And but again, the exciting thing is he's not tapped out, and he's been a huge part of us so far, and now we really need him down the home stretch, and he has the ability to be a game wrecker.
How would you describe your relationship with Jim Knowles, and how would you describe this program's relationship with Jim Knowles as you get to go against a guy who's in this building for 3 years?
Yeah, when, like any relationship, when it breaks off, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but there really hasn't been much communication. He did a great job when he was here, helped us win a national championship, and kind of left it at that. And then it was, hey, we got to go make a replacement and move on from there. So, yeah, that's kind of how it is, and it was abrupt, but we certainly respect the work that he did when he was here.
Coaches move on, but is it any different when he goes down the road to a Big Ten rival as opposed to some other job?
I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier, just about how college football and how it's changed, and the money and everything like that. It's just you're seeing some things that maybe we're not used to, but I guess when you look at the NFL, you see more of that than you would in college. But I guess we're getting more like the NFL. So we try not to take those things personal, but we are human.
Ryan, you mentioned wanting to see recognition for your coaches. The coaching carousel right now is speeding up. It's 2 months earlier than you'd probably like to see it. So you do have coaches being recognized in terms of being thrown around there. How does that impact you in day-to-day game planning with the coaches? How do you keep it from impacting that? And can you anymore expect to return your coordinators year after year?
I mean, I hope so. That's the goal. But you don't know. You don't know what's coming next. It makes you wake up a couple minutes earlier every day and stay up a little later. That's just the reality of it. But this is the world we live in, and there's nothing better. It's the most competitive environment there is in the entire world, and get your blood flowing every day. And it's great to be around these guys. And we say it all the time, it's a privilege to be a part of this, man. You're relevant. You're in the middle of it all. Let's go. And I want to make sure our players, our coaches, everybody doesn't look back in 10 years, 20 years and say, man, those are the best times in our lives, and we were worried about X, Y, and Z. No. Just go out there and play, man. Be the most prepared team in the country and go enjoy it. And enjoying is winning, So I think we have the ability right now to focus on the task at hand, and that right now is Penn State. It's all about the Nittany Lions. And these games against Penn State have always been a battle. It was a battle last year, and it's going to be a battle this year. So, but we knew that when we saw the schedule. Okay, we're not going to circle opponents on our schedule, but we know that one's going to be a battle. It's a matchup game that we're going to have to bring it at home. So, we also need the fans. I think our fans have been great this year, but we got to be at our best. They got to be at their best. Make it as hard as possible and make it a really difficult environment for them to operate in.
Coach, just the running back position, you've got Isaiah West kind of coming on there, it feels like, here mid-season. I assume, as you'll say, you're going to go out to practice today and see who's most productive and those kind of things and figure out the reps. But do you have a pretty good feel about what you guys are going to be able to do with that collection of backs going into this game?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll go through the week and figure out what gives us the best chance. But we have really good backs. They have really good backs. And I think that's another way to look at some of these matchup games is, are you running harder than their backs? And are they running harder than us? If so, why? So I think their backs are very good. Both of them, run really, really hard, and we need to do the same thing with our guys. So we'll keep looking at it. I mean, we do have some young backs. I think that they're growing every day and building, but to say we have like a veteran guys like we did last year, we know exactly what we have week in and week out is probably not accurate. So these guys got to have a great week and then go and prove themselves on Saturday, and that's it.
Ryan, college players can gamble on pro sports now, and I just wonder, since that's passed, what guidance, advice have you given your players on that, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, we have, yearly, we have a huge talk about gambling. Gambling is really one of the hot topics every year. We try to identify as a staff the top 4 or 5 things that we think can jam our players up and distract them or get themselves off track, and one of them is gambling. It's just completely changed, and I think that's another part of this game that's changed. You know, the fans, the people who are gambling on the game, and then they're even more vested than they've ever been before, because not only is their team winning or losing, but they're winning or losing financially. So there's a lot that comes with that. And so we talk to our guys a lot about that part of it. It used to be that you were not allowed to bet on a sport where there was an NCAA championship. Now that's changed. So the message hasn't changed in terms of that part of it, and it's a losing proposition, as we know. But we try to post as many. CJ Barnett right now, you'll see in our locker room a bunch of articles about some of the stuff that's gone on most recently about people getting jammed up with that. We try to post them to make our guys aware. It's just one area that we try to educate our players. Usually we do a lot more of that in the off season, but it is a good reminder during the bye week.
Thanks, Mike. Follow up real quick on that thing about your assistant coaches. It's not my real question, but do you require them to?
Fake question.
Yeah. Do you require them to alert you when they're being contacted? Is there like a I don't know, respect thing going on there? Just let me know what's up. I mean,
yeah.
How does that work? Because obviously, like was said, a lot of guys are getting their names bandied.
Yeah, it's about, everyone has their, their name and their character and how they want to handle things, and I try to do what's right by assistant coaches. When you hire somebody, you try to call the coach. It's not always as linear as you'd like to think. There's a lot of dynamics at play, and it doesn't always work exactly the way you want to. But yeah, I think our guys have always done a good job of communicating. If there's things out there, they communicate to me just to let me know. I'm always understanding in terms of those types of things. But we have a job to do here, and it's mid-season, and we got a lot of football to play. So. Those guys got to make sure they stay focused, and I've been through that before too. But the bottom line is, if you want to get a really good job, just do a really good job at the one you're at, and a lot of good things will happen.
Maybe they'll wait till the middle of January, right? No, I'm just messing. This team's APR has never been higher. You look at this defense and the changes that have been made, it looks a lot different in some ways than last year and stuff. Is that a product, like you were talking about Patricia and the coaches, but also the IQ of the players that you have, and do you actively, how do you identify IQ in a football player, and you think y'all have done a pretty good job of that?
Yeah, we want to be tough, but we also want to be smart. And yeah, if you want to know how disciplined somebody is, look at their grades. See how they're doing. Are they tardy for class? It's not always how it works. There's some guys who don't get great grades who are really football smart. But, we do look at those things. And we want guys to do well in the classroom, because we feel like how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're taking care of, we do meetings weekly and go through everybody in a building who has an interaction with our players. We go through them, and our academic folks will give a trend on our players. And typically how they're doing in the classroom is how they're doing on the field. It's not 100%, but pretty darn close. He was late for a meeting, he missed an assignment, and then you get to the football coach, he says, yeah, he's not doing it very well. He missed an assignment on play 3, and he's not finishing, blah, blah, blah. And, nope, he was on time, everything's in order, he got a great grade, he's prepared, he shows up on time, does all his work, and then by the time you get to the coach, he's doing great. He shows up in meetings, takes great notes, and knows what he's doing on the field, got a great attitude. Then you get to Coach Marotti. Yep, he's there early. He's disciplined in his weight training. Then you get to the training staff. Yes, he's there early, gets his treatment, gets his recovery, leaves on time. He's good to work with in the training room. Like, all of those things are usually aligned, and that's what we look for in players. Guys that understand that they need everybody in the building. And I think it's it's the players' job to make sure that they endear themselves to everybody in the Woody, and it's our job to make sure that we surround them with the best of the best, and to try to build these players up to maximize themselves. And so all that goes into play to make sure we're bringing the right people. Yep, you got it. Thanks.
You've been listening to the Ryan Day Press Conference on The Fan.
Sponsored by The Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact The Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, welcome back in. We're Rothman and Ice, Matty Ice, TLC on the board, and in the house today is Dylan Tyre, DT. Welcome back, man. How you feeling? You good?
I am great. It's like I'm a horse in the starting gates waiting for Ryan Day to be done right there. I'm like pawing at the dirt, ready to get going with you guys. But no, it's really good to be back. I'm excited to talk with you, and we got a lot of different things to talk about. The World Series, football, everything.
Yeah, everything's happening right now, man. This is my favorite time of the year. Folks, as always, thanks for your time. Here's the menu for today. 1:30, Tyvis Powell hops on. We'll break down the Browns and Buckeyes with him. 2:30, our guy Austin Ward will do all things Ohio State with us in our day tripping segment. Just a reminder, you miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Bet365 is the sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. DT, a lot happening in the press conference today, from thoughts on Penn State, questions about Jim Knowles, what he did throughout his bye week, academics. We had it all. One of the things that stuck out to me is his acknowledgement of the talent that Penn State has, and that constant message that he's going to relay to his team all week. You look at the record, don't look at that. You look at the mess they have at head coach right now, backup quarterback in the mix. We're not acknowledging that. All we're focused on is the perception of what they were prior to the season and the talent that they have on that roster. I brought it up to Dane and DeVere yesterday. They filled in for AR. Those guys weren't having it when I threw out that, could this be a trap-ish type of week/game for these guys? I was saying they're not going to lose the game. But I do think human nature can kick in when you look at a team that's lost to UCLA, lost to Northwestern, has a backup quarterback and now an interim head coach that, we got this in the bag. This team hasn't shown us that, so I'm not going to put that on them. But I wouldn't be surprised if other programs and athletes, especially at that level, can fall in to that trap. But you heard from the head honcho today. He ain't having any of it, and he's going to have those guys locked in mentally.
Well, that's good to hear, and I think the last couple of seasons, there is proof. The proof is in the pudding in that, I don't think Ohio State has really sleptwalked. Like, when's the last time you remember that? You might say the Michigan game, but I think that's a little bit different of a beast, right? There are different things that go into that, but how many games could you say on the Ohio State schedule this year, oh, that's a trap game, oh, that's a trap game, Washington, Illinois, et cetera, et cetera. This one, it's against a talented team, like he said, right? So many of these guys on Penn State, it's the same group that Ohio State played last year, and, the Nittany Lions gave them a game last year, albeit on the road for Ohio State, a little bit different playing inside the shoe and being at home. And obviously, Drew Aller, the quarterback, is not going to be playing. So a little bit of inexperience at the quarterback position, but you've still got that dominating backfield. You've still got weapons on the outside. You've still got so many of the guys that were there against Ohio State last year. And, I know it's not the rivalry, the game, but, there's still something going on between Penn State and Ohio State always. So it is one of those things. It's a kitchen sink game for Penn State. What do you have to lose, really? But with that said, I'm kind of with those guys in that Ohio State hasn't given me reason to think that, they're going to sleepwalk in any game ever.
Yeah, and that type of tone was set in the offseason from the leaders of this team, where we heard stories coming out that we don't need any of this old national championship stuff hanging around anymore. Like the guys from last year that were a part of that team, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell, those guys were saying, no, we want to make our own legacy. And those guys are off to a tremendous start doing that with just the undefeated start, obviously, but the dominance coming from the defensive side of things, but also this offense, too, and a quarterback right now that is really coming into his own. Like early on throughout the season, I think you could see and feel that the training wheels were on just a little bit, and I think that's totally fine when you're talking about a year-one quarterback at this level, especially right out of the gate with the game that they had against Texas. But right now, you're really getting some complimentary football on both sides of the ball. He was asked again today about the run game. That's got to get cleaned up just a little bit. You just want that to be more efficient throughout games, especially when we talk about this game on Saturday and some of the other games down the line where, as Coach Day said with Penn State, it's still NFL talent that they have. But you can't really poke a lot of holes in this roster right now in this team. And that's what's scary about what they can be even a month from now is, man, this team I don't think is throwing everything at teams, especially offensively. Like, I don't really think they've gotten all the way in their bag yet with the play calling. And so that is a great thing to have, I think, when you have a year one quarterback, is a defense that can support his confidence and the team's confidence as a whole, because he knows, DT, I don't have to be Iron Man. I don't have to be one of the Avengers week in and week out, even though coming off the game that we just saw, he might be an Avenger of his own.
And what I find intriguing about this year's Ohio State Buckeyes is that they are the same good Ohio State Buckeyes that we saw last year, but there's almost a completely different identity, right? Like last year, it was that tough running game and a personality at quarterback and Will Howard, and obviously a very solid defense. This year, it's like the identity is almost flipped, where last year I felt like the belief was so much in the offense. Now the belief is so much in the defense, but it's like, oh, the offense is still there too. And the way that you were talking about, there are really no holes in Ohio State right now. Think about going into the season, and it's obviously what we do as media members and, you know, what the writers and the prognosticators around college football have to do all off season. All you're doing is poking holes in a roster because, oh, let's see if this works. Will this be good? Et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, questions going into the season. Oh, how are they going to replace so many guys on defense? Well, oops, the defense is even better. What's this quarterback going to look like? Are they going to have a running game? I know the running game hasn't quite been there the way the Buckeyes want it to, but they've made up for that in having an extremely dynamic and efficient passing game. You know, I've not been shy about it. I was a big believer in Julian Sayin early on. But with that said, you go into every single week wondering, okay, is this going to be the week that we see a little bit of a stumble, a little bit of a falter from, you know, the redshirt freshman quarterback? And we still haven't seen it. And that's kind of what I'm going back to when I just talked a moment ago about this Ohio State team, and really last year's, didn't give you any reason to think that, oh, we're going to sleepwalk into a game or we are going to make something interesting that shouldn't be interesting. Really, a lot of that has to do with the quarterback this season not turning over the football, not putting himself into bad positions in terms of, you know, field position, things like that. So this guy has just been oh so good, and he's really been a nice compliment to that defense. And I think at some point you're wondering, maybe the identity is going to flip and, oh yeah, we are really going to see this passing game or this offense as a whole because the weapons are still there.
Oh
so
yes.
I'm with you. It's exciting times.
So they're favored by 20.5 this week against Penn State, so almost 3 touchdowns there. But I think what you're talking about with just the mental focus of this year's team, it just feels like there's a desire to want to be great and repeat from last year's team. And that is just awesome to see, because when you have young guys that are dropped into any type of scenario that is pressure packed and the expectation is, hey, you should probably be in the final 8, final 4 national championship game, whatever that is, you just never know what you're going to get. But these guys, to your point, haven't given anybody, you know, in Buckeye Nation any doubt to feel like these guys are going to be locked in week and week out. Got some other Buckeye news we will get to throughout the show. You'll hear from Urban Meyer, his thoughts on Julian Sands' growth as well. But coming up next, we round out the first hour as we always do on a Tuesday with some fantasy football talk. We'll do Fool's Paradise. Next, it's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports ball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
It's officially fall at Firehouse Subs. The Thanksgiving turkey sub is back. This sub brings all the flavors of the Thanksgiving table into one crave-worthy bite. Stacked high with premium carved turkey, savory stuffing, and cranberry sauce. The ultimate holiday comforts in a sub. Hurry to Firehouse Subs today and try the Thanksgiving turkey sub before it's gone. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last. Planning a tailgate or game day spread? Firehouse Subs Catering makes it easy to feed the whole crew.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hey, it's Anthony. Wouldn't you want to drive into the new season with a brand new Honda from Germain Honda of Dublin? You can lease the 25 Honda Accord LX for just $199 a month or finance at 3.99% APR. Or the 26 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive, leasing from only $319 a month or finance from 4.99% APR. These fall deals are fantastic. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or you can shop online anytime at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Join the fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes, it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio's sports destination. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Let's scratch that fantasy football itch. It's Rothman and Ice's Fool's Paradise.
Sponsored by Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, welcome back in. Dylan Tyre in the house today for AR Quick Programming Update. We are going to move breaking down the Browns and Buckeyes with Tyvis Powell to 1:15 instead of 1:30 today. So again, Tyvis Powell joining us at 1:15 instead of 1:30. DTA, here at the Fan, I took it on the chin last week, big dog.
Oh.
With some BTA action going on. Our former producer, CB, I was facing him head-to-head, and he dunked on me, man. Final score, 138-96. So my team was fine. His team was just even better.
Crazy.
I mean, he had CeeDee Lamb and Devonta Smith and Jonathan Taylor.
Oh.
What is this in Indy this year? Jonathan Taylor absolutely deserves to be in the MVP conversation. So I take it on the chin to CB, and he's been letting me know about it for the last few days. So here at the Fan, AR is in fourth. I am in third. Our former producer, CB, is in third place. So I'm hanging in there. Look, I lost Malik Neighbors for the year. I lost James Conner for the year, and I've missed out on a couple games from Jaden Daniels. So the injury bug has not left us alone at Movero Chains HQ, but I'm still finding a way to win this GM of the Year award. That's what I'm shooting for. DT, what's been going on in your fantasy world, my man?
Oh, man, it's been good these last couple of weeks. I believe I am undefeated in back-to-back weeks. I play in 3 leagues, and like you, I've dealt with a little bit of injury. Like, I've got Lamar on one team. I've got Jaden Daniels on another team, so that has been tough. But the goal for me all along was weather the storm until we get to week 7. That is because I drafted Rashee Rice in like every one of my leagues.
Smart man.
And I knew he would be a league winner if I was still in the mix when he came back. Lo and behold, he's come back and he's guided me to wins in both weeks that he's played. So I am in, I've described it on these airwaves before, but I am in one league that is called a vampire league.
Oh.
So there is a designated vampire that does not draft a team. It's a 10-team league, 9 teams draft. The vampire picks up the scraps at the end of the draft. The way it works, if the vampire wins a head-to-head matchup, he can steal a player off of the team that he beats. So I'm trying that out this year.
I love that.
I've been really banged up in that league, so it's been rough. I hadn't won a game until week 7, but I've won 2 in a row there, and the team's starting to come alive. Another league I play in a dual quarterback league.
Okay.
I had Joe Burrow, so he got hurt. Luckily picked up Jackson Dart, so he's been, he's been doing good for me. And then my other league, I play in a bonus win league. So you play head to head, and then if you are in the top 6 scorers in a 12-team league that week, you get another win on top of that. So in any given week, you can go 2-0, you can go 0-2, or you can go 1-1 based off of how many points you score. Not super in love with that, but hey, been performing the last couple of weeks, so it's worked out.
I like the creativity between those 3 leagues. I'm really in on that vampire league. I might have to steal that and create another league next year.
I really want to do a dynasty league. Like, that's the number one thing I would like to do because I'm a fantasy football lifer. Like, I love playing fantasy football, but the vampire has been fun to test that out for the first time.
I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Teams on bye this week. You will have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, your Cleveland Browns, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the New York Jets. Jets. Waiver wire guys to monitor this week. I think the big one, DT, is going to be Tyrone Tracy.
100%.
Running back for the New York Giants. Ugly injury with Cam Scatterbo.
Yikes.
I saw it one time, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to ever see that again. That's really unfortunate because not only is he a good football player, that being Cam Scatterbo, but the personality, man, in that city, it was just a match made in heaven. So the fact that got ripped away from the Giants fan base and just us as football fans in general absolutely sucks. But Tyrone Tracy, if you can get him, I would make it a priority. I'd use my waiver claim on him. Like, I would absolutely try to get my hands on Tyrone Tracy, DT, if I can.
Yeah, I don't even think Tyrone Tracy's a bad running back. It's just the fact that Scatterbo kind of came in and was electric right away. He and Jackson Dart with that dynamic duo. And, oh, man, seeing Scatterbo go down sucks because, I mean, that is an old-school football player. Like, what a joy to watch. The human body craves contact, and Cam Scatterbo embodies that. I mean, man, oh, man. Didn't he get on the injury cart and scream LFG?
Yes, he
got
did.
up there like
Yes, he
that is
did.
a psychopath.
Yes, he
so
did.
that's a bad miss in absence for football the rest of the season.
He popped up on the scene, I think, for a lot of people throughout that back end of last year's season.
Yes.
Going into the college football playoff when Arizona State was making some noise. But just Cam in that New York market, hopefully he can get back to being what he was, because this just wasn't some cute story. To your point, like, this dude was imposing his will on grown men in the NFL. So Tyrone Tracy, a name to lock in on. I think another one, DT, is, man, when you look at the Arizona Cardinals running back situation right now with the team releasing Michael Carter yesterday, Bam Knight, come on down. So if you need some wide receiver help, or if you have a running back on bye this week, those are two names I would really lock in on. Bam Knight from the Arizona Cardinals and Tyrone Tracy from the New York Giants.
Yeah, I saw Zonovan Bam Knight. He was hot on the waiver wire this week, and I did a little digging on that. I said, oh, okay. That running back room has been crazy this year with, let's see, they started with James Conner. He went down. Trey Benson, he went down. Michael Carter was good for like 1 week. Now he's off the team. Now they go to Bam Knight. All right, and Amari DiMarcado has been there too, but man, oh man, what a weird team.
All we're looking for as fantasy football owners is at-bats. Get the running back that is going to get you at-bats. I don't care if it's in a bad offense or a great offense, especially running backs. You get them down into the red zone, and you're really, really close to, obviously, getting a touchdown. Another playmaker I will mention is a wide receiver. Troy Franklin is a guy that's popping up and doing some pretty good things as well. DT, you got your eye on anybody else or just anybody in the fantasy world you want to show some love to right now?
No, I mean, I haven't really had to scour the waiver wire too much just because I like my rosters right now. But I will say RJ Harvey getting a little bit of run with the Broncos this past week. I'm not sure if he's owned in a lot of leagues right now. I know he was drafted early, maybe dropped because J.K. Dobbins has gotten more run as the running back. But what a big week for RJ Harvey. And I am really intrigued. You brought up Troy Franklin. Really, all of those weapons on the Broncos, any guy could go off any week, it feels like. Cortland Sutton is maybe the most consistent one in that wide receiver room. But I have another thing. I have trouble telling those guys apart because all of their numbers are in the teens. So it's very, very hard. Even RJ Harvey, when you watch a Broncos game, you're like, Cortland Sutton. Oh, wait, no, that was one of these 12, other guys.
Hey, real quick, DT, I'm in on the Broncos throwbacks that they were wearing last week.
Oh, man, those were hot, weren't they?
The orange with kind of that baby blue-ish helmet like that was fire right there. I love that stuff.
Man, I need to see that versus the Eagles and the Kelly Greens. That's a very, very nice look. I also liked the Chargers when they went back to like the early 2000s LT look. Was that Thursday Night Football they wore those this past week?
Navy.
The all Navy? Oh, my God, that looks good.
That was a win.
Especially coming off those yellow Supercharger jerseys that everybody hated.
Yeah. What was that? And real quick, TLC, were you in or out on your Pittsburgh Steelers and the yellow unis we saw on Sunday Night Football?
Out as hell. Those suck, dude.
It's a tough look.
Did you know they were going to wear those going into the game, and did your confidence dip when you saw them in them?
Didn't affect my interest in the game. Well, I mean, I was kind of a little disappointed by it, but didn't think it was going to affect the performance. First half, we were pretty good. Second half was just god-awful. But, yeah, there were some Twitter teases. And you never know with this stuff if it's real or fake, so I was just waiting for the game. But somebody did say that, yeah, the Steelers are using these, and then to avoid, like, too much yellow clashing, the Packers are going to go all white, and which I think is I hate their all-white helmets.
Yeah, that's horrific.
The Packers look terrible, too.
I'm in on them.
So I thought that was one of the worst football uniform matchups ever.
And
in what could have been one of the best if they just used their base uniforms.
I agree. And you know I'm in on the whole jersey on jersey experience as a fan. Like right now, the World Series, DT, is too much blue and white for me. Like we needed Toronto to come out with red or something because they have a red jersey. We'll get to that at 2:00 because last night was a movie in L.A. with the game that happened in the World Series. Coming up, top of the hour. With the trade deadline around the corner, should the Cleveland Browns be considering trading Myles Garrett? We will discuss that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Columbus, October is here, and with good weather comes more home improvement projects. Do you have old, stuck, or cracked windows that you've been putting off replacing? Well, Window Nation Columbus can help. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 more for free. There's no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1-day installation. With Window Nation, you also won't have to make any payments for 2 years, which is a big deal with the holiday season coming up. And did I mention you could celebrate your newly upgraded home with 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game? What other company in Columbus would thank you for replacing all your windows in your home with a fun experience like that? Put an end to your window problems before this beautiful fall weather ends. Now through October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free now, plus pay nothing for 2 years with Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit windownation.com today to start your free estimate. That's windownation.com.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. Or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State hosts Penn State Saturday at noon. Buckeyes have won 8 straight over the Nittany Lions, but will not play the next until 2028. In baseball, after an instant classic Game 3 Monday, the Blue Jays and Dodgers battle in Game 4 tonight at 8. LA leads the series 2-1 after Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off homer in the 18th inning to seal a 6-5 win. Shohei Ohtani starts on the mound for the Dodgers after he went yard twice and became the first player in postseason history to reach base 9 times in a game on Monday. Shane Bieber starts for the Jays. NHL, the Blue Jackets travel to the Sabres at 6:45. Coverage on the Fan starts at 6:15. Opening round of the MLS Cup playoffs, Crew fell to FC Cincinnati 1-0 Monday. Series heads back to Columbus Sunday night. NBA Cavaliers won their third straight 116-95 at the Pistons Monday. They'll visit the Celtics Wednesday at 7. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Dog friendly. And if you ain't down with that, this is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Dylan Tyre in the house today, filling in for AR. Hope you guys are having a great start to your Tuesday. Coming up in our next segment, right around 1:17-ish, we will do Breaking Down the Browns with the People's Champ, Tyvis Powell. So trade deadline, DT, right around the corner. believe November 4th is the trade deadline. I think they have right up to right around 4 o'clock to do their business. And so when you have not only teams like the Browns, but also other bad teams around the league that are looking at the future of their franchise and good players that maybe they don't want to financially commit to down the road, you got to have conversations of, well, what can we do to help build our future out a little bit? And I think those are fair questions to ask. And so now here we are with the Browns at 2-6. We knew it was going to be an uphill climb this year. I think most of us did with what they had at quarterback, whether it was Flacco or the 2 rookies. You never really were going to be, I think, in the upper echelon of elite teams this year with that type of quarterback play. Would have been a shock if we were talking anything different. And so now the question of what do you do with some of their key players needs to come into focus. And one of those guys, as we all know, is the great Myles Garrett, who is coming off an incredible game against the New England Patriots, where this dude racked up 5 sacks. He looked absolutely incredible. He is a one-of-one type of guy. And so let me ask you this, DT. If you're Andrew Berry, if you're the ownership group up there, are you having this conversation, or is it just utter nonsense in your mind to even bring this up right now?
Well, I think the conversation that you have to have is Myles Garrett for the remainder of his contract. What is the expectation for what he is going to look like? And if you expect Myles Garrett to age like fine wine, like it honestly looks like he is and is going to, and still be a factor by the end of that contract, so you weigh that, and then you think about where are we going to be over the course of the next 2, 3, 4 seasons? Are we going to be able to be competitive and capitalize on Myles Garrett's dominance during that time? If you think, no, it's going to take us longer to rebuild and become competitive, then I think you seriously have to consider trading him and recouping some assets. Otherwise, if you think and you can see yourself being competitive in that time frame, I think you have to keep Myles Garrett, right? Because he is a major reason why you are going to be relevant, not just culturally in the NFL, but as a football team, competitively on the field. How much worse is that defense without Myles Garrett? I know it's a very good defense, but Myles Garrett is a big, big reason for that. And without him, I think you would understand just how important he is.
He's
right?
a force multiplier. That's what, you have that guy, he can positively affect other areas, right, of your defense because of his game-wrecking abilities.
Of course, and if you were to trade him, whoever gets him, I think their defense becomes 2 times better, 3 times better, right? Like that's automatically one of the better defenses in the league because you have to worry about Myles Garrett. And it's not just worrying about Myles Garrett, it's actually what he does. Like you have to scheme for him, plan for him, and that opens up other people on a defense. Outside of that, he still dominates. Right. But that's where I'm at with it. Like I think you always have to consider things. If somebody comes in and blows you away with an offer, heck, I mean, you'd really have to weigh your options there. But for me, it's just a matter of determining where you are at in terms of do we think we are going to be competitive and be a factor in the NFL during Myles Garrett's contract. And if that's not the case, then you trade him.
I think if we were to look into our fake crystal ball right now and ask ourselves, what do we think the immediate future is going to look like, what you're talking about? I don't see right now the quarterback position in the next 2 years being figured out at a very high level and having the Browns make a leap into that elite company with Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Cincinnati when they have Burley. Those teams. Like, I don't see that coming. And so I think that does crystallize and bring into focus, like, hey, if we get, to your point, if we get the Micah Parsons deal coming our way in the form of 2 first-round draft picks, a ready-made player, which they got in Kenny Clark from Green Bay, you got to have that conversation. I wouldn't trade Myles Garrett right now. I wouldn't do it. And I think if the team were going to do it, they would have done it this offseason when they had the dispute, the back and forth, and Myles throws out his statement publicly after Andrew Berry throws out his statement about the whole Canton to Cleveland or Cleveland to Canton stuff, whatever that was at the time. And another thing that's hovering over this whole deal is that Myles has a no trade clause in the new deal that he just got. So he's got some veto power in all of this to say, hey, even if Andrew Berry says, look, man, we got a great deal for what we think is going to help us as a franchise, and we're sending you somewhere where you can probably win, he's going to say, you know what? Let me think about it. Let me think about it. And so I don't think they should do it. I really don't think they should do it. It's a team that's set up with their own draft capital right now that's pretty darn good. Like, you're looking at their draft pick that's probably going to be fairly high with the way that this season feels like it's headed. And you have an additional draft pick, first-round pick coming from Jacksonville with the trade that you did with Travis Hunter. And so I want you to hear from Bill Cowher, former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. He was asked about this, and he was on Dan Patrick's show. And from a head coach's perspective, here's his thoughts on the possibility of a Myles Garrett trade and what that could do to a team.
He's a generational player, Dan. I don't think he'd trade generational players. And, that's a total start over. We've seen a lot of teams rebound and come back. This is a good defense. This is an offense that's still trying to find its way with a young quarterback. Again, I think you're looking at National Football League. They're still at a point with what they're still only 3 games out of first place. So, I think, again, the whole getting rid of people or trying to buy people. And I think if you're close, you go get someone. But I think if you're going to, take a player off your team, it's not a great message to send to the rest of the players on your team. Are you giving up on this season? And now expect them to go out there the second half of this season to build something and maybe take into the next year, because I think there's a lot to be said for that. So I don't think you get rid of generational players.
Here's where my thought would change on the possibility of trading him, DT, is if this were his last year, contract-wise. Like, if you're staring down the barrel of, hey, this guy wants to hit free agency, he's just done with Cleveland, whatever it may be, in that type of scenario, then you absolutely try to trade this guy and get something in return. Like, I don't understand teams across sports that let these type of players just walk for comp picks. Like, that never makes sense to me, but that's not what Cleveland has to worry about right now. What they have to worry about is figuring out the most important position, because we have seen, whether it's guys in their first years and C.J. Stroud and Jay Daniels, or guys like in their second year, like we're watching currently with Drake May right now, that if that pops, you're ready to go, especially if you have a defense the way that Cleveland has a defense that's tough week in and week out.
There is something to be said, too, because, I am in the camp that I think the Browns can get competent by the end of that contract. Like, I am not trading Myles Garrett. And while I just said you need to weigh your options there, I am of the belief that the Browns can get to the point that they can be competitive during Myles Garrett's contract here before it expires. And something has to be said, because think about that division. You have Lamar Jackson, you have Joe Burrow. Those guys have dealt with injury this year. Both of their teams have been bad, frankly, because of that. Yeah. The Ravens, maybe, they've struggled with Lamar, but obviously without him. You need to have a good defense, and particularly a dominant pass rusher, if you want to be competitive in the division going forward. So where are you at as the Cleveland Browns if you trade Myles Garrett and say you get the quarterback right, or you get competent quarterback play that gives you an average to, good offense? In that division, you're going to need a very good defense, which is what they've got right now. So I'm kind of the belief you keep the guy, you keep the defense as dominant as possible, and then you try to figure out that quarterback position to get competent play that keeps you in games.
I also don't know if they would get the Micah Parsons return because of age and the difference in age. And I think Green Bay was willing to let go of probably that additional first-round pick, because Micah's in that 25 to 27 age range. Myles is, we're talking 30, 31. So some of those years that gets a little murky as far as the projection of dominance throughout his career. And so I don't think the return would be probably what Browns fans would love, just based off of that. And look, we're having a lot of conversations about the quarterback position, which is it's huge, as we all know. They've done a good job, I think, with this rookie class as well.
Yes.
Right, like outside of the quarterback position. Like, we're talking Carson Schlesinger leading the team in tackles. Quinshawn's been a dude. Fannon's had his games to where he's really popped off as well. So I think there's 3 guys. Mason Grant, 4 guys. Thank you. That you're looking at and saying, as a Browns fan, like, those guys we're good with.
Yes.
Like, what they're going to be. And so they just got to get QB1 figured out. They do that. Then I think, to your point, they're probably not as far off as their record is telling us they are right now.
Well, you also, and I know Browns fans have talked about this a lot too. Weapons, right?
Yeah.
Can you get another receiver? I like what they've done at tight end. Quinshawn looks like a real piece. Can you add some more explosive weapons? That's going to help out a quarterback that even if your quarterback is more of a game manager. If you have those explosive weapons, it's going to make the offense a lot better.
100%. We will continue our conversation about the Browns with the great Tyvis Powell next. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
A government shutdown affects everybody. It means missed paychecks for our troops. It means delays for critical services for ordinary Americans. And it disrupts the work Congressman Mike Carey does to deliver results for his constituents. Like voting for the Social Security Fairness Act to get public servants like police, firefighters, and teachers their full Social Security benefits on time and without delay. Mike Carey also voted for a continuing resolution to keep the government open while budget negotiations continue. It passed the House with bipartisan support, but failed to pass the Senate, and the government still shuddered. Congressman Mike Carey urges our senators to put politics aside and reopen our government before innocent Americans are harmed further by the shutdown. To learn more about Congressman Mike Carey's bipartisan efforts to reopen our government, call Congressman Carey's office at 614-927-6902 or visit carey.house.gov. Paid for with official funds from the office of Mike Carey.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
When it comes to prostate cancer, go to pcf.org for the help you need to navigate this disease and make the right decisions for yourself. Go to pcf.org today.
With autumn's arrival, ISA-certified arborists recommend that fallen leaves be left alone or mulched to improve plant health. When leaves decay, they transform into organic matter absorbed by the soil to become moisture to trees through their roots, which helps trees weather drought conditions. Leaves are also a natural habitat for butterflies, chipmunks, earthworms, and others, which increases the population of beneficial insects for the next growing season. To learn more about the benefits of autumn leaves, contact an ISA-certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org. With autumn's arrival, ISA-certified arborists recommend that fallen leaves be left alone or mulched to improve plant health. When leaves decay, they transform into organic matter absorbed by the soil to become moisture to trees through their roots, which helps trees weather drought conditions. Leaves are also a natural habitat for butterflies, chipmunks, earthworms, and others, which increases the population of beneficial insects for the next growing season. To learn more about the benefits of autumn leaves, contact an ISA-certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Your new Columbus home for the Jim Rome Show is The Fan 2.
Catch the live experience weekdays from 3 to 6.
Just one requirement. Have a take and don't suck. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Jim Rome Show. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Enjoy the beautiful day before big changes on Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies, breezy, and temperatures getting up right around 60, so that will add a bit of a wind chill. And for tonight, mostly clear overnight with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. For Wednesday, increasing clouds throughout the day with chances of rain increasing the second half of the day. It will be breezy again, and highs will struggle to get into the mid-50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Breaking Down the Browns with Tyvis Powell.
All right, welcome back in. It's time to get the gangsta party going with the one and only Tyvis Powell, one half of T-Bone and Tyvis, which you can hear every morning right here on The Fan. TP, happy game day, man. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Listen, there's something about that Tupac that just makes me feel like Pac. I be throwing up the West Side all the time.
I'm not mad at it. The reason why I said happy game day is because the Jackets are playing today, and I saw Coach Dean Evison bring you a jersey. And did T-Bone not get a jersey? What was that about?
You know, T-Bone said that he's received so much from the Jackets over the years that he was not upset at the fact that they didn't bring him a jersey. Plus, it's a lot of fabric, if you know what I mean. So I think that played a part into it as well. But, yeah, I told Dean, if you ever need a defenseman, you know what I'm saying, me and Matthew Olivier, we could be the Bash brothers out there. We could just pick fights and just knock people out.
I'm here for you. Be a good trash talker, too. You'd probably be the best trash talker in the sport. Hey, before we brought you on, we were having the conversation about what should the Browns do with Myles Garrett now that the trade deadline is around the corner. I don't think they should do it. I don't think they should move on from Myles Garrett. Where are you at with that idea of the Browns trading Myles Garrett?
I think that it just depends on where you look at this whole thing. You know, are you just hitting a complete reset button? Are you just blowing this whole thing up and you just want to start from scratch? Is that what we're doing? Because if that's the case, all right, then yeah, you would absolutely do that. You hopefully get 2 first-round picks, but are you going to get 2 first-round picks for a guy that's 30? I don't know. That's the thing. So I think you would have to gauge the market and see. I'm not a fan of doing that. I think that Myles is more part of the solution than part of the problem. I mean, the guy's still going out there putting up 5-sack performances. It's not like there's anybody else on this team that can get you 5 sacks in a game. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But if you're just telling me we hitting the reset button and we got to blow this whole thing up and we firing everybody and we just want a whole new everything, then yeah, do it.
Tyvis, I think you were coming from a similar place to where I was talking about this, and I'm curious what you think. I said, you know, if you think the Browns will be competitive while Myles Garrett is still under contract, there is no point in trading him, that he is going to be part of making that team good. But if you're Andrew Berry and you don't think you are going to be competitive while he is on the football team, that's when you trade him. Do you see the Browns being a competitive football team while he is still there under contract with the team?
How many, what's the contract list?
They signed him for 4 years, 4-year extension.
By that 4th year, they would be competitive.
Well, there you go.
That 4th year, book it. It's happening, baby. Yeah. Wait, 4 years, that put us in the dome? Book it.
Yeah, and that's another part of this, too. Like, that factors into your decision, right, as a front office, is moving off of guys and names that you can put on the marquee. When you're building a new stadium, you need somebody that's going to bring the city out, and obviously Myles is one of those guys.
Well, I mean, they got the guy that can bring the city out. He could bring the world out. It make you want to go buy a watch and put it up. They got that already. Now they need to just go ahead and throw them out there and let's see what happens. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I want to see Shedeur Sanders play for the Cleveland Browns. What is going on there? Why is it seeming like he's not going to get a shot?
Well, you understand that you took a quarterback in the 3rd round, and whether fair or not, you looked at him as he's the second best quarterback in this draft. people say that that's unfair to say, but let's look at what the Browns did. They had the number 2 pick in the draft, meaning outside of Cam Ward, you can draft any player in this draft. And you punted on that. You said, no, we think Dylan is going to be the guy, so we're going to take him later. Okay, that's fair. Now, when you get to the season and realize that it's not what you think it is, you can't pivot off of it so fast because now it makes it look like you can't evaluate the position. So before we move on to Shedeur, you have to exhaust every option because this guy was supposed to be the guy that you said was the second best quarterback in this draft. Once you move to Shedeur Sanders, that is shutting the door that this guy is going to be the franchise quarterback. So you're going to give that every single opportunity possible until Jimmy Haslam comes down there and say, put 12 in the game, you going to roll number 8 out there because you don't want to look bad. You praying that he figures it out because you don't want to seem like you don't know what you're doing.
We're breaking down the Browns with the one and only Tyvis Powell. Some unfortunate news coming in the form of injury, right? On the defensive side of the ball, locking in on Carson Schlesinger. I mean, picked up his first interception on Sunday against Drake May, who's been playing some really good ball for the Patriots, but now he's going to be down for some time. This dude's leading the team in tackles, man, and just we talked about it in the offseason. When you take JOK out of the equation, obviously that's a big hole on your defense, and this guy has really stepped up and showed that he's going to be a key part of what they do defensively. But just talk about the early returns, Tyvis, from Carson Schlesinger in year one.
Yeah, he's been everything that we've hoped that he would be. I mean, this guy, you talk about, it's a lot to put on a rookie's plate that he's got to come in, be the green dot. That means that he has to understand the defense better than anybody on the field. He's got to communicate that defense. And then, oh, by the way, make plays. He's done all 3 of those things to where he's looked as if he's the third, sometimes second, third best player on that defense. And you absolutely needed that because JOK was that guy. It was Myles, then JOK. That's how good JOK was. And I thought he's done a wonderful job being able to cover, tackle, bring that physicality. Obviously, you said he had the pick last game, so he's got hands. He was a home run hit, and a lot of people were upset when they took him with the 33rd pick, but it turned out that he was exactly what that defense needs. So not having him is going to be hard. I'm hoping that Jerome Baker, obviously the former Buckeye, still got a Cleveland guy, Cleveland native, so you know he's going to go out there and put on for the city. But if he's not, then Mahmoud Diabate is another guy that they have to look to. So hopefully those guys can still hold it down while we wait those 4 to 6 weeks that it takes for Carson to get healthy.
Tyvis, some conversation right now about Kevin Stefanski potentially giving up play calling to Tommy Rees. Why would that make sense for the Browns?
I think it makes sense because Tommy Rees just came out of college 2 years ago. You got a quarterback that just came out of college who was very in the college game. So I think you might want to go back and put that college spin on your playbook. And I think it gives Kevin the chance to evaluate the team. You know, sometimes when you're in this situation where the team's not doing well and the play call is not doing well, you got to give up one of the responsibilities to focus on something else. Tommy Rees is a guy that they decided to keep and pay and make him the OC because he was getting head coaching jobs in college, and I want to say Mike Vrabel kind of wanted to take him with him to the Patriots. So if you got this guy who was highly regarded and other people wanted him, you decided to pay him to make him stay. You got to utilize him at some point. Let him go out there and let's see why you thought so highly of him as a play coach, that you decided to make him an OC. So you got to let that guy earn his money.
Who are the realistic players to watch when it comes to the Browns maybe moving off some guys? Like, I think the Myles Garrett thing is fun to talk about. I'd be shocked if they actually did it. But, like, the guys you could realistically see them trading, who are those guys in your mind?
So, four guys on the offensive line from Joel Bitonio, Ethan Pochik, Wyatt Teller, or Jack Conklin, because their contract is up after this season. I can see them moving off of him. David Njoku is another name. And then the guy who's really that I'm interested to see, Alex Wright. The reason for Alex Wright is because I think his contract is coming up, and you got to make the decision on whether or not you're going to pay him. Now, Alex Wright has been really good opposite of Myles. So that means that you're going to have to pay him. But if somebody's willing to give you a good draft pick for him, Are you comfortable rolling with Isaiah McGuire? Because he's also has some really good production in the league, too. So those are like the 6 names that I'm thinking. The 4 people on the offensive line, David Njoku, Alex Wright on defense.
Zooming out from the Browns, let's do an early vibe check on your Cleveland Cavaliers. How you feeling about them right now?
Hey. We are so back, baby. Listen, the Cavs, it looks like they look like they're ready. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's early in the season. Jared Allen had that game in the first game where he just completely disappeared. But last night he dropped 20 and 7. You get a double-double from Evans. Still want a little more out of Evans. Want him to be a little more aggressive as far as going to the hole. Put the ball on the ground. Take somebody to the hole, because you got to remember, you're going up against 4s and 5s. So that means that you should be able to take these guys. I think he's settling for that jump shot just a little bit too much, but I ain't mad at it. He's being aggressive on the shots, and that's what we wanted. So want him to increase in that. Sam Merrill is leading. I want to say he's leading the NBA in three-point percentage made right now at 51%. So Sam Money Merrill is what they call him, since he's got that new contract. Love Lonzo coming off the bench looking like John Don Stockton. Hunter is still picked up where he left off. Donovan dropping 35 on a light night. It's nothing to hate right now. The Cavs look really, really good. But Giannis is still the best player in the league. I don't want to hear that Wemby talk.
Oh, but listen, Wemby right now, though, T.
Hey, I don't care what you're talking about. Go look at who averages the best right now.
I hear you, but I'm
saying 36, 14, and 7 is what Giannis averaged. How is that not the best?
We already got a 9-block game from Victor Wembanyama, and the Spurs are undefeated. Undefeated
7-7
right now. It's crazy.
7-7.
Hey, you mentioned last night's game, too, for the Cavs. It's always fun beating your old coach, too, right? JB Bickerstaff roaming the sidelines for Detroit. They'll get the Celtics coming up tomorrow night. T, as always, man, we appreciate you.
No problem. Go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs.
There goes the great Tyvis Powell. You can catch him every morning right here on The Fan with our guy T-Bone for T-Bone and Tyvis. Coming up in 2 minutes, DT, we got some SEC head coach on head coach crime going on, and some really good audio from one head coach, because he did not like what another head coach had to say about a game that just went down this past Saturday. You'll hear that audio coming up in 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Who y'all look at as like, that's the best basketball player of all time? I'm a Giannis guy.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions. And yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer, and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Oak Grove Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Happy Tuesday. Is that a thing, DT? Happy Tuesday?
No, I don't like doing any of that.
Yeah,
but
I
hey, it's okay. You're a nice guy. You're jovial. You're trying to get people in a good mood. Tyvis just got fired up. Like Tyvis put me in a good mood that last segment. Listen, I stayed up watching that Dodgers game last night. I woke up not feeling very good this morning. Okay. After talking to Tyvis, I feel great.
Ready to go. It's always good.
The whole thing
from the People's Champ.
Okay.
No, couldn't do that. Had to go to bed.
That two.
We're going to talk about that
radio right there.
Because I got a question for both you guys about not the game itself, but if you were there, what would you have done? So I want to ask you guys.
I like that.
At 2 o'clock, one of the big time matchups around college football last weekend was Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Right? You had John Mateer and the Sooners getting a home game against a top 10 team, and Lane Kiffin and the crew coming in. Ole Miss has been a fun story this year just because of the whole Chambliss situation taking over for Austin Simmons. I don't know if you watched a lot of that game or any of the game. I think what we saw with the whole quarterback in and out with Simmons in sometimes and Chambliss out was rooted in NIL stuff. Because Austin Simmons was their starter before the year started. And then obviously he went down with an injury. And Trinidad took over for him, and he's been playing really, really well. And it was just so odd to see him being kind of forced into the game, that being Austin Simmons. And my mind went to DT. Is that a head coach feeling maybe some pressure from some boosters somewhere saying, prior to the season started, we paid this kid X amount of dollars, which I'm sure was really, really good money. We don't want to see that as a wasted investment on the sideline. So just something that it just felt weird to me that he was in the game at all in a certain situation. And my mind went to NIL money.
That really is interesting that you kind of went there for that. I don't know if it's as much just to change up a look and to keep teams guessing down the line. Because, I mean, for me, do you really feel that Lane Kiffin is beholden like that? Like, I feel like Lane Kiffin is just such kind of an outlaw in a sense.
I feel that way about him. I guess now just with the James Franklin and Brian Kelly decisions, my mind goes to that now in the world of college football because of some of the power, if you will, that these people hold because of the hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars some of them are spending. So whatever. That's just something I thought about with
If that's
this
the
game.
case, then Lane Kiffin's not going anywhere.
Well,
because if he were going to Florida or Penn State, he wouldn't care.
Yeah, holy cow. At all. So we'll get to that here in a second. And I'm glad you brought that up, TLC. But Brent Venables, head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, after the game, and the Sooners' loss final score was 34-26. If you missed it, here's what he said about the game and how things unfolded in his mind.
Unfortunately, we have to learn, from some really tough, mistakes. Hate that for our guys. I felt like we were the better team, but at the end of the day, this is a game of performance and executing, and I thought they'd out-executed us, when it mattered the most.
So the key line in there to remember is Brent Venables thought that his team was the better team, even though the result, black and white, was you weren't, because the scoreboard told us Ole Miss was. So now Lane Kiffin had his media press conference yesterday, I believe, and he was asked about that statement from Brent Venables, and here's what old Lane Kiffin had to say.
Interesting take. That's a hot take. You're a better team. I wouldn't have thought that people watching would say that. I felt that, we won at their place in weather that as a defensive head coach you would normally, wish for. Won by 8 points. And I think we left a lot out there. I think we should have won by a couple scores. So I don't know how he evaluated that game, that they were the better team. Interesting take, whatever he needs to say.
And also following up to road trips
maybe
to Georgia.
Maybe they had the better team last year, too, when we beat them. Sorry.
Yes. Following up on the road against Georgia.
Maybe we had the better team in Oklahoma when we beat them 55-19 in the national championship. Maybe we had the better team at Clemson when we beat them 45-40 in the national championship at Alabama. Next question, my bad.
I love him remembering the final scores, too. Like, that's extra.
Yes, that is very, very spicy. I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I love guys like Lane Kiffin, coaches that are like that, players that aren't scared to throw some things out there every once in a while. Not only did he do that, DT, but prior to the game even starting, Lane Kiffin was watching ESPN, SEC Network, whatever it was, and those guys and gals were doing their picks up there. I think it was Feinbaum and, Tebow and Laura Rutledge and that crew. And everybody up there had Oklahoma. And so he tweets out a screenshot of his TV in the picks and ats Tim Tebow and Laura Rutledge with an emoji kind of like, that's interesting. So Lane Kiffin wants all the smoke with everybody, but he absolutely bodied Brent Venables in that clip there because when everybody was ready to move on, he was like, no, I got some more for him.
Yeah.
I got another 2-piece in a biscuit for him. And like you said, he's remembering scores to the number. I love this stuff. And that's why I think whether Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss or goes elsewhere, we need this guy in the world of college football for a long time because it's entertainment. And that's what I love is that type of stuff.
Oh, he is so petty, and it makes it so fun. And I think Lane Kiffin is very good for college football because of that, right? You need these personalities. And I feel like in college football, you get these personalities so much more often than the NFL or maybe even any other major sports as far as it goes with head coaches. Like think about Mike Gundy, like that's a huge personality. Even Urban Meyer is a huge personality in his own right, a little bit differently. Each one of these guys is kind of their own caricature, which I mean, Lane Kiffin is just so fun, and no matter where he goes ever, it's going to be entertainment. And on top of that, he's a good coach. Like he's put together some nice stuff at Ole Miss, and I feel like Brent Venables kind of has to say that for his team to, keep faith in there. And in their eyes, their season's not over. But when it comes down to it, I think that loss pretty much ends their chances at the college football playoff. But, I mean, on paper, they were outgained 431 to 359. They had one turnover. Ole Miss didn't. 21 to 14 first downs in favor of Ole Miss. Oklahoma had more penalties than Ole Miss did. 4 for 14 on third down. Ole Miss was 9 for 21. Fourth down, 2 for 3 to 1 for 3. Time of possession, 35-36 to 24-24.
Wow.
They beat them in every facet.
Everything. Yeah, everything.
There's no argument.
No, not at all. And TLC, if I'm remembering this correctly, this is now 2 weeks in a row where Lane Kiffin has dunked on an opposing head coach. He got after what? Kirby Smart?
Kirby Smart.
For the Georgia game?
Calorie surplus, we'll call it.
Well, and before that, he had the thing with Whit Weeks at LSU and obviously his daughter. Like every
they
week it's
Instagram
something new.
official the week of the game?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Every week it's something new, which I love.
It's fun.
You're right, though. Like, he's tweeting. I follow Lane Kiffin. I see him tweeting all game day morning.
Yeah, it's
like,
nuts,
just
man.
about whatever.
Right. He's just like one of the guys. It feels like that just happens to be in a very, very important position. Your gut, what does it tell you about what he's going to do next? Because LSU, Florida, Penn State, I'm sure all of these programs have him as a guy that they could potentially poach or want to poach and have him as their next head honcho. What do you think he's going to do next? Your best guess?
In your mind, doesn't Lane Kiffin at Florida or LSU just sound so fun for all the reasons we just talked about? But with that said, why would you leave, right? I feel like no matter what package he gets, Ole Miss would be willing to compensate him equally, restructure a contract, whatever it would take. But he's got a good thing going right now, right? Like he's made them nationally relevant again, whether it's, back to last year with Jackson Dart. This year, I don't know if it's necessarily against all odds, but you talked about the quarterback situation there and going to Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, it's been a very successful season. And I think at this point, they obviously control their own destiny as far as it goes with getting into the college football playoffs. So if he gets there, unless you are absolutely blown away and Ole Miss can't match, like what's the difference between Penn State and Ole Miss at this point, or Florida and Ole Miss?
All
right?
the money I think would be similar as far as offers go. Like he'll look at the Signetti deal that he just got. He'll look at obviously what he's already making. I think you're probably looking at anywhere between 11 to 13-ish $1 million. Like somebody would have to come with, hey, we're going to pay you $20 million a year. Then you don't turn that down.
Now, him going to LSU would be so fun. Would be ridiculous. Yes. It would be awesome. It would be so good for college football. Yep. Honestly, for all of the opposite reasons that Brian Kelly was kind of fun at LSU, because he would be, Lane Kiffin I'm talking about would be a little bit more in your face out there, whereas Brian Kelly was just angry and sad and all of that, and it was equally funny. But, I mean, Cole likes that back there.
Angry and sad.
Red-faced on the sideline for all the wrong reasons. But, no, I mean, why would you leave if you're Lane Kiffin? I don't see it.
I think what we're laying out here is Lane Kiffin is exactly where you want to be when it comes to getting new money, either from who currently employs you or for somebody else that wants to employ you. Is you have to have leverage, and right now Lane Kiffin's going to have a lot of that to either go back to Ole Miss and say, hey, you want to keep this thing rolling with me at the helm? Let's figure out some new money. Or you're going to have LSU, Ole Miss. Ole Miss will be on this. Florida, Penn State throwing huge money at this guy because I think he is going to be highly coveted. And look, he may look around college football and say, I'm good with where I'm at. I mean, look at where the sport is right now. We're talking about 3 helmets that don't have very, very strong brands in the history of the sport. In Indiana, in Vanderbilt, in Texas Tech right now that have thrown out big-time money. They have a lot of NIL support that are showing us that if you have that type of support financially, and if your head coach can figure out timely additions via the transfer portal, that you don't have to be at LSU and Florida anymore to be a contender. And so, just fun stuff coming from Lane Kiffin. And, he's a man that's probably sleeping really, really well right now because he knows regardless of what happens the rest of the way, he is going to be taken care of financially at a high, high level. Coming up next in our Buckeye Bulletin, a report coming out of Penn State's neck of the woods that maybe they got an eye on somebody in the old scarlet and gray to take over for James Franklin. We will talk about that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Wake up with The Fan. Eat lunch with The Fan. Go to bed with The Fan. Dream about The Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Whoo, go to geteco.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet Store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet Store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store, I bowl in 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet Store, we'll personally fit you at high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet Store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Visit the Good Feet Store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the Fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks. Contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Did you know Byers Airport Subaru is the oldest Subaru retailer in the entire country? And just like a veteran quarterback, we've been delivering winning drives for generations right here by the airport. Right now, trade in your car for a new 2025 Subaru Outback for 0% for up to 36 months. Kick off your next adventure at columbussubaru.com.
Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 36 months on 2025 Subaru Outback. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/31/25.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU Football Insiders.
You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, DT, let's knock out a Buckeye Bulletin. Dylan Tyre in the house today for our guy AR. So the Penn State opening, the LSU opening, the Florida gig. Like, it's crazy to say that out loud with where we are. Like, just those three brands right now and just how quickly is not the right word, but just how okay I think some of these programs are with moving off of guys that have brought a respectable amount of success, right? Penn State, you look at what James Franklin did. It's respectable, never able to really get over the hump and win the big one. Same thing could be said down there with Brian Kelly at LSU, but these programs are like, hey, man, if we feel like we're running into the same brick wall year in and year out, let's move off of him. We got the money to continue to support the next head coach in the program. I kind of like it, honestly, like not just sticking with a guy that you're comfortable with when you feel like you have higher expectations. And Penn State is one of those, and that's the tricky part of whoever is going to take that gig is the fan base is going to say, well, we just got rid of a dude that got us to the college football playoff and racked up a nice amount of regular season wins and yada, 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 and all those things. Now, like the expectation to me, DT, is CFP at worst, and then probably you got to win a national championship to make those fans feel like we made the right move moving off of James Franklin.
Yeah, the word expectation there is the key. And it's so interesting, right? Because each of those programs, while seemingly is in a similar spot, they're kind of in different positions individually. You're talking about Penn State, where it's like, okay, I think they fired James Franklin because the expectation is we should be competing for national championships. Now, do you take a step back with somebody new? And it's like, okay, the expectation here at the start is let's get to the college football playoff and then start competing, a mini rebuild in quotes. Florida, it's like, okay, is this just let's get relevant again and then let's see where it goes? Because they fell out of kind of being that respectable program that you just mentioned. In LSU, they are almost on the verge of falling out of being that, where, you know, they have been a top 25 team this year, probably not anymore.
Yeah.
But coming in, it was let's compete for a national championship. Like, I think they've fallen the farthest from grace within one season than maybe anybody else. I know Penn State's had their issues, but it was let's compete for a national championship. And now is this next hire replacing Brian Kelly a guy that's just trying to keep us relevant, and then we'll see?
I mean, you bring up LSU, and what's so fascinating about them and thinking about what Ohio State did last year is LSU and Brian Kelly never could have everything come together at once. You had the Jaden Daniels team when he was awesome and won the Heisman. Defense was bad that year. You had this year's team that was supposed to have a Heisman contender with a really good offense. What we found out was the defense is really good and the offense has been an issue. Last year's Ohio State team had everything come together at the right time. You had the veteran experience, health was on your side for the most part, and then down the stretch, they just put it all together. And that's what you got to have. You got to have luck on your side with health. You got to have luck on your side with the way the ball bounces sometimes in these games. Ohio State had all of that. Getting back to the Penn State job, the reason why we're talking about that in the Buckeye Bulletin today is because there are reports out there that apparently Penn State boosters are enamored with Brian Hartline, and he could be a realistic guy to grab a hold of that Penn State job. I'm not going to be shocked, DT, when that day comes, when Brian Hartline finally takes over as a head coach elsewhere. Like, I think I would be surprised if he just sticks with this for the remainder of his career. He's been building up a very, very good resume since he locked in with Urban and is the best wide receiver coach in the country, has risen up to being now an offensive coordinator. We can see the steps happening with our own eyes with, I think, where he wants to go. I don't know. I don't want to speak for the man, but that's just one report out there, DT, that over there in Happy Valley, they've got their eyes on Brian Hartline Services.
It would be something, wouldn't it? The guy finished his playing career 10 years ago. To become a college football head coach, and not just a college football head coach, but one for a massive program within 10 years of finishing your playing career, that would certainly be something. This was a guy that was, largely considered the best position group coach in college football. Natural progression to go to the offensive coordinator. But 1 year as the offensive coordinator to becoming the head coach of Penn State. And mind you, he is the offensive coordinator at Ohio State, but Ryan Day is an offensive mind.
It's his offense.
He's got a lot going on there, right, too. So, Man, oh man, that would be a lot to put on Brian Hartline's plate. Again, this is not, hey, he's the offensive coordinator at Ohio State for, again, one season, and Bowling Green is going to hire him to be the head coach. Tulane is going to hire him to be the head coach. Heck, even Vanderbilt is going to hire him to be the head coach. This is Penn State is going to hire Brian Hartline to be the head coach. Like, this guy is an offensive coordinator under a CEO straight to becoming a CEO. This is like almost becoming, in your corporate job, a manager or a director to the CEO. It's like, man, oh man, that is crazy to think about. But with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go somewhere and succeed.
I think it's going to happen in time.
Yes,
I do think he will be a head coach in time, but that's just the latest, is that apparently they want to get Brian Hartline over there. And look, they've been a program that's been starved to figure out the wide receiver position the last couple years, so I'm sure that's a factor in this as well, with how great that man has recruited wide receivers year in and year out. There's your Buckeye Bulletin for today. Fellas, if you're at a point in your life to where you are just down and out, you don't even want to go to the gym anymore, you don't want to hang out with the guys and play basketball anymore, whatever it may be, that can change. You can get that confidence boost from my friends at the Columbus Men's Clinic, because over there, there's no guesswork, there's no gimmicks. All it is, guys, is real science and effective treatments to help you get back to where you want to go. So if you're sluggish, you're tired, and you're feeling that way all the time, dealing with low T, if you're dealing with ED, let them figure it out, because they're going to make a plan for you, your body, and more importantly, the financials that you have as well. It's affordable. It's accessible. You'll get consultation, including blood work, for just $99, and you will have results, guys, before you leave. So act now. Take care of yourselves. You only get one life. Procrastination is the worst thing that you can do when it comes to taking care of your body. Call them at 614-300-7400, or you can visit them online at columbusmensclinic.com. Again, their phone number is 614-300-7400, or hit them up online at columbusmensclinic.com. Coming up top of the hour after an update in our deep dive. What happened last night in L.A.? What a scene that was. We'll talk about it next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching. But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
Newman Roofing, as part of its 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to recognize individuals who go above and beyond to make a difference for people of all abilities. This week, we honor Alex Osuji. Alex has made an impact by volunteering for the Buddy Walk dance team and is a member of his church's hospitality team. During this Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Newman Roofing is proud to join forces with 10 TV and The Fan in celebrating our ongoing commitment to the community.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24-monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Start at Columbus State Community College. Columbus State equips you with the skills to launch a high-tech career in Columbus's fastest-growing fields, including cybersecurity, software development, and more. That's why employers fueling Central Ohio's tech boom hire our graduates. Plus, our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive campus community. Take the first step. Apply at cscc.edu/IT.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Hey, does this sound like you where every step or reach is a reminder that it hurts? The pain is there, a reminder of what you're not able to do, how far you've drifted from that life you used to have and love where you didn't have the pain. Listen, if this is you, if this is a family member, you need to talk to them about it. You need to do what I did and go to QC Kinetics. They've got the answers for you, the relief without the scalpel, without the surgery. At QC Kinetics, they tap into your body's own regenerative power. The damaged tissue, it can be healed by itself. It's not science fiction. It's your body's comeback story. The very cells in your body can help you get healed with no surgery, no pills, no long recovery, just remembering how to move and feel alive again so you can golf, hike, do all the stuff you love to do. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544. They have offices all over Columbus, so be sure to check them out at 380-208-4544.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Day one, the hardest day. The day you hear,
"This is a type of blood cancer."
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. After an invigorating Game 3 of the World Series, the Blue Jays visit the Dodgers again tonight at 8 in Game 4. LA leads 2-1 after Monday's 6-5 win in 18 innings, the second longest game in Fall Classic history. After a 2-homer game last night, Shohei Ohtani starts for LA against Shane Bieber for Toronto. NHL, the 4-4 Blue Jackets travel to the 4-1 Sabres at 6:45. Coverage on the Fan starts at 6:15. Opening round of the MLS Cup playoffs, Crew fell to FC Cincinnati 1-0 Monday. Series heads back to Columbus Sunday night. NFL, ESPN's Adam Schefter reported the Saints will start rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck over Spencer Rattler versus the Rams. Week 8 stat leaders, Green Bay's Jordan Love with 360 passing yards, Buffalo's James Cook III with 216 rush yards, and Green Bay's Tucker Kraft with 143 receiving yards. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Welcome back in. Final hour of the program on a Tuesday. Bottom of the hour. Our guy, Austin Ward, he will jump on to talk all things Buckeyes in our day tripping segment. We'll ask him about the presser today. We'll ask him about the Brian Hartline rumor that's out there that apparently Penn State may want to name him their next head coach if he is interested. So a lot to unpack with A-Dub at the bottom of the hour. Last night, even beyond last night for me, DT, I love this window of time that we're in where I just feel like I'm overwhelmed with sports that I want to watch. Like, that to me isn't a negative feeling. I like between the Jackets. We got a Jackets game tonight. We got the World Series, the NBA, college football, NFL. Like, I'm here for it. I don't know how you feel about it, DT. Like, I know some people are like, hey, you know what? Like, I want it separated just a little bit throughout the calendar. I'm like, nah. I'm going to the buffet line of sports right now with 2 plates, and I'm coming back with as much as I can to enjoy this stuff.
Yeah, miss me with that, complaining about there being too many sports on, because we go through the summer when there's really nothing going, and it's tough, right? You got baseball going on, and
then
maybe
it's month number 5 of top 10 NFL quarterbacks debates, and
you and I did Fan Sports Saturday the other day, and we were just ripping. We could have gone forever. It was so fun. So, no, and I am such a football guy, too, that obviously, my day job, I work in hockey, and I'm locked into what's going on in the NHL and the Blue Jackets. But when I have free time, I'm on the couch watching football. Like last night, I watched Monday Night Football, and then my wife, of all people, she is not a sports person, was like, I would like to watch the World Series when this is over. So, we've got a TV in the bedroom.
There we go.
Sat in bed, watched the game, and stayed up way too long, hoping something would happen. But
crazy,
I love that. It's fun. Like having appointment viewing for sports like that is so fun. And we didn't even talk about, hey, Saturdays I got college football to watch all day.
It's the best.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
I'm never going to complain about sports being on.
If you really want to get crazy, I'll lock into some high school football games too if they're on TV. Especially some of those big time programs that are like in Texas, Florida, with the big time recruits that are playing. Give it to me.
Not even that for me, but when there wasn't college football on yet this year, that first Friday of high school football, yes, I was watching. But for me, if I know somebody that plays high school football, like again, to bring up my wife, her cousin was the quarterback at Barberton High School a couple years ago.
Okay.
I was locked in like every Friday on YouTube watching Barberton games. Like that, I love that. High school, I can't wait till I have kids someday, or even if I don't, like I'm an old guy living in some neighborhood, you will find me at the high school Friday football game every Friday night.
Love it, DT. I absolutely am with you on that. So you guys watched the World Series last night, and it was absolutely insane what we saw. I tried to make it. The last thing I believe watching, DT, was action in the 12th inning, because I was watching the game on my couch, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to the bedroom, turn the TV
I like the
on
way you
in there.
put that. I'm going to go to the bed.
I'm going to go to the bed. Turn on the TV in there, and I'm going to ride this thing out until the wheels fall off. Well, the game was watching me, because when I woke up, it was like news or something at like 4 a.m, and I'm like, what happened? So I go to check my phone to see the final score. And I'm like, okay, I see the game. Dodgers winning an extra 6-5. And then I look at the update, DT, and it's like I got the alert like 25 minutes ago. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? What happened? The game just ended. And then I see this game went 18 freaking innings, man. Absolutely insane stuff from the Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers. And so I got to the 12th inning last night. What was the last thing you remember seeing?
Yeah, so I turned it off after 12 when they were going to 13, because I was kind of like you. I was starting to drift off a little bit, and I do like falling asleep to sports on the TV, but then I found myself, I was trying to stay up and watch, and I found myself falling asleep, so I said, you know what? I'm doing Rothman and Ice tomorrow. I got a game tomorrow night. The Blue Jackets are playing a back-to-back. Like, I'm going to feel bad on Wednesday if I don't go to bed soon. So I went to bed, but when you said you woke up at 4, I was like, man, you must have just missed the finish there.
Oh, it's crazy, man. Like, I'm always waking up it's weird. I'm always up at like 3, 4 in the morning.
You were just telling somebody last week that you woke up at 4 in the morning.
It's like every day. That can't be healthy that I do that. And I think it's because I'm always going, no, it's a bathroom thing. Like I just consume too much, so my body just.
Are you drinking water all day long?
All day.
There,
that's what it is.
You got to stop. How late do you drink water until? Because you got to stop like pre-10 p.m.
See, that's my problem. It's like I'll run this thing till about 9.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I'm housing water. TLC.
But it's clear when you go.
That is very true.
Healthy.
How many innings did you see last night of the 18 that were played?
Technically 11 and a half. So Dylan got me beat because when Kershaw came in, that's what I really woke up, because I'll be honest, and I usually can stay up pretty late.
Yeah.
I was in and out of sleep, dude, on the couch. It got to the point where I'm like, I better set alarms like now, just in case. And then I'm like, all right, I better go plug my phone in because I'm on 20%. So setting those alarms isn't going to matter when my phone's dead. So I was like really having to plan on, if I end up accidentally sleeping on the couch tonight, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So when Kershaw came in, then I was up because I'm like, oh, we got the starters coming in relieved. Now we got something going. And so then he got out of that inning. And so I didn't see the Dodgers bat in the 12th, so technically 11 and a half. And then by that point, I'm like, I can't wait to wake up first thing in the morning and check the score.
Have you seen the Brad Paisley stats that are out there?
Oh,
have you seen this yet?
I did. By the way, great anthem yesterday.
Phenomenal out of him. He bodied it in a good way. It was good stuff.
And apparently they need to bring him back.
Have you seen the Brad Paisley tweet that's floating around?
No.
Okay. So he sung the national anthem last night, and this is absolutely nuts. But MLB, their official Twitter page, tweeted out the following. World Series Game 2 in 2017 when Brad Paisley sung the national anthem. That game went 11 innings. He sung the national anthem in Game 3 of the 2018 World Series. That game went 18 innings. He did Game 1 in 2024. That game went 10 innings. And last night in Game 3, when he sung the national anthem again, that game went 18 innings. So when Brad Paisley shows up, you know the game's going to extra innings.
Wait, so is he like is it Scott Foster? Like, who's the NBA ref? Who's the series extender?
Yes.
That's Brad Paisley.
They got to call him Free Baseball Brad, because if he shows up to do an anthem, you know you're going to see some extra innings.
It was 2 games in 1. That's exactly what we got. And baked into that game. Well, before we get to him, and we all know who him is, I want to play the call from Joe Davis, because Freddie Freeman walks this thing off. Like, end of the night, they had a couple balls that went to the track. Like, I think Teoscar hit one, Will Smith hit another one, and then Freddie Freeman says, all right, enough. I'm a Hall of Famer for a reason. Let's go home.
11:50 in Los Angeles. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes me. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
Fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. And if you haven't watched the Dodgers game, I'm sure a lot of you at least know who the main characters are for them. They're coming right out of the gate with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman. So just 3 no doubt Hall of Famers right out of the gate. But DT, what we're watching with Shohei Ohtani is just, we don't really have words to describe it anymore, because it's absurd what the man is doing. In the NLCS against the Milwaukee Brewers, he had the game where he started, had 10 strikeouts on the mound, hit 3 home runs. And then yesterday, in an 18-inning affair, he hits 2 more home runs, has 5 walks in the game, a combined 4 hits on the day. He is the best baseball player to ever play the game. Like, I'm dug in on that. There's not going to be a guy. There hasn't been a guy prior to him that does it at this level, and I don't think there's going to be a guy after him that does it at this level either. But this guy, Victor Wembanyama, like Pat Mahomes, like, these are guys to where when they are on TV, I'm stopping to do everything that I'm doing to watch this man ball out, and that's what he did again last night. This guy, he's not human, DT.
It's crazy because everybody on earth knows how good he is, and then he goes and does something that's like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. I've got some stuff here. Shohei Ohtani's last 7 at-bats at Dodger Stadium. Home run, home run, home run, double, home run, double, home run. What?
Nuts.
Last night, he became the first player in World Series history to hit 2 home runs and 2 doubles in a game. Guess what? He's starting today. Like, what?
That's what I'm saying, man. This is like when the best player in high school, whether it's football, he played quarterback, receiver, DN, whatever it is, or the best player in, basketball lit up for 50 and then guarded the best player on the other side. But he's doing that at the highest level the sport has to offer and making it look so freaking easy, right? And so this guy is, I will never miss a game on national TV if Shohei Ohtani is playing because he's that special.
Do you remember a couple series ago, people were like, what's wrong with Shohei Ohtani? He's not doing anything. Since then, 8 home runs, 14 RBIs, 283 batting average, 1236 playoff OPS.
If I'm Shohei Ohtani last night, I'm telling Dave Roberts, hey, I'll show up when I'm awake. I'm not setting an alarm. That's my warm-up for today. Like, hey, if I'm starting on the mound tonight, I need to get some sleep. And by the way, when we were going to bed, we were all talking about how we lasted 12 innings. That's like 12:30. It was so soft. I saw the camera pan to the clock, and you saw 9:38, and I'm like, these fans don't even know.
No, they're not. They getting don't the worst even of know. It. They don't. TLC. They weren't getting the worst of it at all. You know how great Shohei Ohtani is? That they are willing to deal with that being the Toronto Blue Jays, a guy in Mookie Betts, who is a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer. That's how special they're saying we're going to put him on base and we're going to pitch to a guy that is going to be in Cooperstown in the blink of an eye. And by the way, Mookie Betts is playing some of the best shortstop in the game right now.
He hit 1 for 8 last night.
He did.
It was justified.
But I'm just saying, think about that. There wouldn't be nobody's trying to pick on Mookie Betts, and that's what they're doing. And so game 4 tonight, you touched on the DT. Shohei will be on the bump, 8 o'clock first pitch on Fox.
It's unreal. And, I wish we could see him hit more. I get them walking him a million times. It's the Barry Bonds treatment now, which I think is really cool. But to even further on your point right there, the expectation when Shohei gets on first base is he's going to steal second. So it's hey, we're going to put this guy into scoring position and pitch to Mookie Betts. I said it to my buddy last night that, he was talking about all this different stuff. What guy does this? What guy does that? And I'm like, yeah, he also stole 59 bases last year. He's a top 5 pitcher in baseball, the best hitter in baseball, and he stole 59 bases last year.
And he's 6'4", 210.
Right.
And he gets on base and he's a stolen base. It's unbelievable.
It is. It truly is unbelievable. And so, Dodgers with a real chance to go back-to-back here, but Toronto, I don't think they're going to go down without a fight. We got pre-snap reads coming up next. We'll lock in on Bet365 and our bet of the day after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, so you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, or player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet just $5. It's the only betting app I use. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only. Hey, it's Anthony. Wouldn't you want to drive into the new season with a brand new Honda from Germain Honda of Dublin? You can lease the 25 Honda Accord LX for just $199 a month or finance at 3.99% APR. Or the 26 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive, leasing from only $319 a month or finance from 4.99% APR. These fall deals are fantastic. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or you can shop online anytime at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Van Scoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday morning starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Enjoy the beautiful day before big changes on Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies, breezy, and temperatures getting up right around 60, so that will add a bit of a wind chill. And for tonight, mostly clear overnight with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. For Wednesday, increasing clouds throughout the day with chances of rain increasing the second half of the day. It will be breezy again, and highs will struggle to get into the mid-50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, welcome back in. Before we get to our pre-snap reads, let me talk to you about Bet365, folks, because it's where you need to be. It's where you need to be if you're into betting. They've got a great deal right now for new customers where you can bet $5. You are going to get, ladies and gentlemen, $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger and better when you bet on totals, spreads, money lines, or player props. So download the Bet365 app today. DT, I don't even know if I should mess around with this. Yesterday, you could get Shohei Ohtani at plus 155 to hit a home run. I mentioned that. That happened 2 times over. Today, you can get Shohei Ohtani at plus 180 to hit a home run in the game. It's clearly the best odds for a home run on the board at Bet365 for anybody that you can bet on. I'm doing it again.
Where's Freddie Freeman at?
Freddie Freeman, DT, I have him at plus 375.
Give me that. I'll go Freddie for another.
You also have Teoscar Hernandez at plus 375 as well. I like that you're locking in on Freddie because we were talking during the break and you mentioned the former Cleveland Guardian Shane Bieber is spinning the rock on the bump for the Toronto Blue Jays. I like that righty on lefty matchup in Freddie's favor there. So, yeah, I like that. Plus 375
What's
for Freddie.
Kike at there? What's Kike at?
So he is at plus 625.
Let me sprinkle Kike.
Yeah, I'm here for that because he is one of those guys. Like, it's unreal. This guy gets to the playoffs and turns into, I don't know, pick a Hall of Fame batter. He turns into that guy. In the regular season, it's very spotty, like his positive production.
Yeah.
But he is a real threat every single year, feels like, in the postseason. So game number 4 tonight in the World Series happening out there in La La Land. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only, must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply, in app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
So DT, one of my little stupid rules that I always throw out there when it comes to the perception of an NFL team and where you are and whether or not you're in troubles is if you have a nationally televised game and they throw up the graphic of your team and it has to have a player attached to it, if your team does not have the quarterback up there, you're usually in a tough spot. That's one of my rules. Another one is when the players only meetings happen, it's usually a wrap. After that. Like, it's rare for me that we go back and look at teams that had that player only meeting and figure it out after that and turn themselves into a really good team. So those are just two of my little stupid rules that I abide by in my sports mind. So now the Cincinnati Bengals, they're checking the second box, DT, because we found out that not the team in total, but the defense only had a players only meeting on Monday. And so that to me is like, okay, I get it. Look, last couple weeks, especially this past week, they had no business losing that game to a Jets team that had been struggling. And that's being nice with what they were doing on offense. You almost get 40 put on your head in that game. And so they are, they're in the deep end, DT, trying to grab floaties to stay afloat, man, on defense because that defense has been really, really disappointing. So, yeah, the players only meeting, it's happened.
I'll tell you one thing. When I was looking at the show sheet today and I saw you had that on there, I am a Chicago Bears fan. My Chicago Bears will be in Cincinnati this weekend. Okay. When I saw that they had that players-only meeting, was I worried? Absolutely not. I had the same reaction as you. I said, let's go tear that up.
Yeah, man.
I need a big game from Caleb, man. I need a big game from Caleb Williams. Restore a little faith. Get to 5-3. But, man, oh, man, when you've got a players-only meeting, especially a one side of the ball only, one unit only
Correct.
Players meeting, that is problematic.
Yeah, it's like it's the players only meeting. It's when a coach either takes over play calling or gives play calling to someone else. Like, that's when you know, like, they're just trying to find anything.
And here's the other thing.
Yeah.
If you have a players only meeting and you've got a dog or two in there, and it's those dogs or two that are like, let's go, guys, and they're going to take it on themselves. Like, if the Ravens had to have a players-only meeting defensively, and Roquan steps up, and he's like, guys, it's time to lock in. It's like, okay, well, listen. Bengals don't have those guys.
They don't.
Who's going to step up?
They don't. Now, the Ravens, they did their own version of this when they removed the ping pong table, the pool table, like all the fun stuff in the locker room during that bye week. Now, they turned the page and figured it out a little bit. It's your Bears on Sunday, but like, hey, man, like, I get it. Like, but that was eye-opening to me to see a head coach do that, because that feels high school-ish, like college-ish from a coach to say to grown men, hey, I'm taking your games away. You know what I mean? Like that.
They said
stuff.
It wasn't the coach show. They said that was the players.
Okay, I like that.
Right?
Okay,
they said it was the players.
Okay, I like that. I stand corrected then. I do like that there. But real quick, let's hear from Zach Taylor. He went back and looked at some of the film from Sunday's loss to the New York Jets and locked in on the defense. Here's now his thoughts on what those guys were doing on that side of the ball.
One thing you look at when you're having the struggles we had on defense yesterday in terms of giving up the points, you look at the effort. It's not an effort. It's not a want to. It's not a guy's checking out. It wasn't perfect all the time, but there were moments there in the fourth quarter I saw 11 guys swarming to the ball, and if we're going to continue to build off of that, we're not going to run from the fact that it was good enough, it wasn't good enough. We got to get some stops and keep the points off the board. There's some opportunities we had where we're an inch away, and we didn't take advantage of that inch, and they did. And so 7 points or led to 3 points when we could have been off the field, and those are things that we'll be better for in the future.
Dylan, when a coach says that publicly and says, hey, I went back and look, guys, it's not an effort thing. Like, guys are trying. The way that I read that is he's saying without saying, we just don't have the dudes.
Yeah, no kidding. What is a players only meeting supposed to do? Because the players only meeting is, hey guys, we're not trying hard enough. Yeah. That's what that is. That's not, hey, you need to be better over here. I need you to actually play better. Right. If you're trying your hardest, that's what you got. Mm-hmm. So I just love kind of the dichotomy here where the coach is like, it's not an effort thing. And then they're having the players only meeting like, I mean, what is it in there? Yeah. Come to Jesus? Like, I think that's a mess. That is a mess in there. And listen, like I said, I need my Bears to go in there and tear it up because otherwise,
1 o'clock kick for that game. I mean, you're just not going to be able to survive in a world. I mean, you look at some of their losses this season. You lost to Minnesota. They hung 48 on you. You lost to the Detroit Lions, 37. I mean, and then you look at this past week, 39. You can't survive that way, especially when you don't have Joe Burrow under center. Like, and I don't even know if he would be able to correct these type of wrongs, because what you're doing is you're asking your offense to be darn near perfect week in and week out. Because if the offense doesn't get to X amount of points, then you're in trouble. Because a team that did not have a win on Sunday in the form of the New York Jets found confidence offensively because of that defensive unit.
Would you rather have the Cowboys defense or the Bengals defense?
Would I rather have the Cowboys defense or the Bengals defense?
Bengals, because Matt Eberflus, I don't want him as the DC.
That is a tough question to answer because they both stink.
Yes, they do.
They both stink.
I will say the Cowboys have
Bengals because DJ Turner might be the best cornerback in the NFL.
I'm glad you brought him up. He's having a very amazing. Good year. He's having a very good year, and that's part of the problem. Not him, but they hit on a guy like DJ Turner and missed on a lot of the other young guys that they've tried to draft on that side of the ball. So, yeah, DJ Turner's been bringing out the handcuffs this year for sure. I would rather have the Bengals defense because that includes Trey Hendrickson, and I don't have Micah Parsons in Dallas. DeMarcus Lawrence isn't there
and
anymore.
Overshown's hurt, and he's really good.
That was the one thing that I'm going to bring up. Overshown is making his way back, so maybe that makes them a little bit more competent.
Now, Diggs is down, too, for a little bit of time, I believe, as well. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Am I making that up, TLC, that Trayvon Diggs is going to be down for a little bit?
I know that he missed a couple games ago against Washington.
So, yeah, man, and it's so funny. You bring up Dallas. You got Jerry Jones out there talking about, hey, we may make some moves on defense at the trade deadline. It's
okay.
Like, well, you probably wouldn't have needed to do that if you would have kept a guy by the name of Micah Parsons. Those are your pre-snap reads for today. Coming up in 2 minutes, we're going to lock back in on the old Scarlet and Gray in our day tripping segment with the one and only Austin Ward right here on The Fan.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Soldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hey, you know that chronic pain in your knees, hip, back, shoulders, whatever joint it might be, it can make life feel impossible. But at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough treatment that's giving patients relief, some cases even within 1 day. It's called stem wave therapy. This device has been used for over 20 years in Europe, and it's made its way to the United States. And there's a groundswell of demand for the treatments because the patients are getting real relief from acute pain, and they're spreading the word. Here is the most interesting detail of the device. is both a diagnostic and therapeutic, helping Dr. Ray Tesner and the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and then trigger your body's own natural healing response. StemWave uses the same technology as lipotrypsy, the sound waves that penetrate, spark blood flow, and more cellular activity. That's exactly what you need to promote healing and relief. Wondering if this is a good solution for you or your pain? QC Kinetics is making it easy. Your first treatment is only $49. So call for a consultation and ask about the $49 treatment right here at 380-208-4544.
Rossman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's do a little day tripping.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Plumbing. Call us today at 1-800-FURNACE for all your plumbing and drain service needs. Yes, 1-800-FURNACE works for plumbing, too.
All right, welcome back into Rothman and Ice. Going to light up right now the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and bring on the great Austin Ward for our day tripping segment. A-Dub, happy Tuesday, my man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling awesome, Maddie. Great to be with you guys on another Tuesday, a game week. And I was half expecting, my man, you to just come up with a nickname today because you asked yesterday if A-Dub was all right. And I said, yeah. And then I thought, well, maybe he'll try his luck with something new.
You know what? Because I found myself like, man, I call him A-Dub all the time. I've never asked him, is he okay with that? And I'm sitting here and I've called Dylan DT like all day. I've never asked him if he's cool with DT. So it's a problem that I have. So forgive me.
I find it offensive. You need to stop.
So there it is, Dylan. I will go straight to Dylan from here on out. So, A-Dub, we're sitting here listening to the press conference earlier. And he was asked about Jim Knowles. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, hey, I can't read his body language. All I can do is just go off of what he said. When he was responding about Jim Knowles and throughout, hey, there hasn't been much communication and some other things, like, what was the vibe when it comes to Ryan Day when he was talking about Jim Knowles?
Yeah, well, what he said at the end of that statement, I think, is pretty telling. And it matched up with what I thought was, because there's no such thing as like actual fire flashing through someone's eyes. Like you see the anger boil up. It was very clear, though, that I think that Ryan Day did not want to talk about his relationship with Jim Knowles or, in his terms, the abrupt ending to his tenure at Ohio State. And then he said at the end, was asked, if there was any grudges about that. And he said, you try not to take things personally in this line of work. But we're human. And he didn't have to say the last part because we all know what the last part means. So, and we get that. Like the way that the exit was handled, I don't think was the most graceful way that it could have been done. The way that the negotiations were transpiring before the national championship were certainly not what anybody wanted to be dealing with at Ohio State. So that definitely rubbed people the wrong way. The balance out of that is all the work that Jim Knowles did for the previous 3 years was incredibly important. He elevated the success of the Silver Bullets, and Ryan Day knows how integral Jim Knowles was to that national championship run. So, it's a little bit of that balance. It's like any long-term relationship and boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. You get to the end of that, no one is ever going to truly feel good about it. He can remember the good times, and that doesn't mean that Saturday is going to be a happy reunion for anybody when Jim Knowles walks down that tunnel with the horseshoe.
Okay, you just said it. It's not going to be a happy reunion. Do you see any of that possibly bleeding into this game, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I kind of think not, Dylan. I mean, because there's two things here. The competitive fire that we always have talked about with Ryan Day, and I think we saw with a little bit of that animosity in his comment and his body language in the Woody a couple hours ago. That version of him would be like, yeah, I know how to attack Jim Knowles. They've had some struggles defensively. UCLA and Nico Iamaleava picked him apart a couple weeks ago. Ohio State is well equipped to do that to him and let's inflict some damage. But that's the devil on the one shoulder. And the angel on the other is Ohio State and Ryan Day have taken this methodical approach, a big picture approach to the season of trying to play 16 games and working at a slower pace and trying to work on some things over here and limiting possessions in a game and protecting the defense. And I tend to think Ryan Day would be able to resist the personal side in service of the greater good for Ohio State on Saturday. And maybe I'll be wrong about that. It wouldn't surprise me if I was, but I don't think that he's going to let, whatever abruptness or, abrasiveness or whatever word we want to use for it to the end of their relationship influence the way he wants to coach his team over the course of the season, because it's not style points or margin of victory over Penn State on Saturday is not going to matter. It's not going to do any good for Ohio State. Some of this stuff where we've talked about where they just have to win the game, I know it gets old because Ohio State is capable of beating anybody by just about whatever score they want. And the way that Penn State has struggled, you could say that they fit in that same bucket this week as well. But they are still a very talented team. I don't think Ryan Day is going to take any unnecessary chances to get that win. So I think if this was an ideal world or it was a national championship game and there was nothing after it, you might see a different approach. But given what's ahead for the next 5 weeks here in November, I'm going to guess it won't be nonstop fireworks factory.
If we were dealing with Lane Kiffin as the head coach here, I think it may be a different story. With how he goes about his business. We're talking all things Ohio State football with Austin Ward. Something that's out there, Austin, and I'm sure you've seen it, and all it is just rumors and speculation right now, is that on Penn State side of things, they may be interested in Brian Hartline and seeing where he is with possibly being the next head coach. Your thoughts on that report and possibility?
Yeah, I think that we're about to see Brian Hartline's name attached to a lot of jobs over the next few weeks, given the way this carousel is spinning. It's going to and the rapid rise in the ranks, the recruiting success he's had, getting a seal of approval from Ryan Day to be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. That's going to put Brian Hartline on a lot of short lists. And I think that Penn State to me doesn't immediately jump out as the kind of job that Brian Hartline would want to leap for. And even if I'm trying to put myself in Penn State's shoes, which I have no reason being in them, I would say, I don't know, is that the kind of move that you want to make? You fired somebody and paid $49 million to James Franklin to go away, who had built a rock-solid program, and the one weakness was getting over the hump. But Brian Hartline hasn't run a program at all. So, I think that would be on the mind of Brian Hartline as well as he looks at his future and where he wants to go. He's still relatively, and I guess in reality also, just young into his career. So, you take any interview that you can get. I don't believe that he's had one at this point, at least not to my knowledge. He's going to be mentioned, I think, with the Florida job. I think he's going to be mentioned with, just about anything that comes open. People are going to want to talk to Brian Hartline, and I think he will be in a situation where he can be choosy about the next steps in his career. And Ryan Day was sort of asked about this indirectly with, his coaches and jobs that they're open for. Do they need to, loop everybody in with the decision-making process? And a lot of these things don't happen as linearly and as directly as everyone thinks that they do. Brian Hartline's decision will come down to a lot of other factors he doesn't necessarily need, because of his NFL career, to take the first major payday that is offered to him. He can wait for the right fit. He can spend another year being an offensive coordinator and learning it under the tutelage of Ryan Day while coaching Jeremiah Smith and potentially Chris Henry and, Jair Brown and some other guys next year. Like, that would give him even more leverage or more opportunity to find whatever job he wants. So, as I sit here right now, and it's October 28th, it's crazy that there are so many jobs available and that these conversations are heating up to the level that they are. I get these things wrong from time to time, but my gut says right now that Brian Hartline will stay at Ohio State. But that's still to play out, and we'll see what transpires, because he's going to have no shortage of opportunities.
Austin, I think I heard you ask Ryan Day about the Ohio State running game. So where are things headed there? Because it was James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson, and then, here's Bo Jackson, and now there's another guy in the mix. Isaiah West kind of enters his name into that conversation. So where are things headed?
Yeah, this thing, if you had asked me, Dylan, 2 months ago, there really wasn't a consideration that I would have given to the pecking order changing. I remember, I think right after the Texas game, talking with Maddie and AR on a Tuesday, it was like, did you expect that C.J. Donaldson would start? And I did kind of get that one right. That was my expectation, but we were not talking after that game about Bo Jackson ascending, and we certainly weren't talking about Isaiah West. And now 2 months later, this thing has really flipped. Peoples and Donaldson have They're pros for sure. Upside, we know what they can do, but I think when Ohio State is looking for this next level of potential explosiveness, which is what they've been lacking now really through 7 games with that run game, at least consistently, it's come in spurts, it's come in flashes, but, you got a 15-yard carry and 55 total yards from Isaiah West against Wisconsin and a pretty solid rush defense. We've seen what Bo Jackson can do as do it all, like maybe the top dog, bell cow running back for Ohio State. And now you're entering November and this final stretch run of the regular season where it almost feels like Ohio State has to ride with these 2 true freshmen, at least in terms of finding the largest upside for the offense. So they're still working through some of that, and Penn State's going to be a pretty good barometer of that. The next 3 weeks, maybe not, but Ohio State has to get that part, I think, really ironed out, or at least have a better feel of who they can rely on, because we know for sure that they're going to have to run the football in the Big House at the end of the month.
You're so right about that. A-Dub, as always, we appreciate you, my man. Have a great day. And just a quick reminder, as always, acknowledge your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Have a great day, my man.
I always got the ones up. We'll see you guys.
There he goes. Austin Ward joining us right here on The Fan. We'll hit the finish line of the show next. We'll tell the truth. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment
on any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyears and save up to $200 more.
See store for details.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. At High Bank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. The Whiskey War spirits tell the story of prohibition in every sip. Whiskey War was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, the largest and most respected spirits competition in the world. Enjoy their naturally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Stop by your local liquor store or order a bottle direct to your door at sealbacks.com. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, that's too... Oh, I hate here.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
If you love losing big money, then boy do we have the promo code for you. Enter code BIGBEAUTIFULBILL to unlock these awesome offers. You can buy a car for even more money than before, or watch your heat and electric bills skyrocket. It's exclusive for everyone, thanks to Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, which our Senator John Huston supported. So use promo code BIGBEAUTIFULBILL. Sit back and crack open a cold one, but just one because that's all you can afford. Paid for by NRDC Action Fund.
T-Bone and Tyvis.
I'm trunk heavy. That's kind of what I am doing.
You hold all your weight in your legs.
Yeah, look at me. I mean, it's all everywhere, but bottom half, I'm thick. I'm a thick bottom.
T-Bone and Tyvis Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
All right, TLC, take us to the crib. What do you got cooked up and tell the truth today?
All right, tell the truth. Here we got the fan poll to start us out. If it was your favorite team playing last night, would you have been able to stay up till 2:50 in the morning to watch all 18 innings? Your 3 options are definitely, I would have tried to, or no chance.
I think I would be in the definitely camp because I would be surviving off of adrenaline. And I think at that point, like if the Reds were knee deep in that game last night, I'm probably not missing anything. Like I would probably get to a point where I would stand up and watch the game.
Yeah. By the way, all 3 of us root for terrible baseball teams.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Actually, your team made the playoffs. I'm sorry, Ice. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not going to have to worry about this, maybe ever, as a White Sox fan. But I'm staying up no matter what. Yeah. Like that's my squad. You gotta watch. Come on, I don't care about next day.
For sure. Let me ask you guys this, because I didn't bring it up earlier. That was bad on me, so I'll do it now. If you were in the house last night for that 18-inning affair, how long would you have stayed?
So even if I'm not a fan necessarily of one of those 2 teams, like if I'm just there
kicking it,
it's history. I'm staying.
Okay,
I'm staying as long as it.
So you would have made it. You would have made it. TLC, would you have stayed the entire game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the people in LA only had to stay there till 11:50 p.m. So who cares about that? Oh, my gosh.
With the traffic there, it probably took them until 5 a.m. to get out of that lot at Chavez Ravine.
I was thinking that about the players because they got a shower, they got media, they got all this stuff. And I'm like, they're not getting home till like 5 in the morning our time.
Those guys probably got a secret tunnel out of there, though. They don't have to wait in that lot
probably
with
got
everybody.
a sprinter waiting for them or whatever it is down there. I got to be honest. I probably would have bailed.
Oh, my
If you were
Lord.
there?
Probably, knowing me. Because
way.
I am always in my mind, I am trying to avoid traffic as much as I possibly can. And so I probably would have got to a point in the probably 13th or 14th inning where I'm like, I got to go.
You would fit in LA so well.
I got to get out of here. So I wouldn't have made it, fellas. I wouldn't have made it all 18.
There's no way I would have left a World Series game.
Yeah, no shot. Like also a lot of money for those tickets.
Very good point. Very good point.
Now, I spent the majority of my life being like, I don't care what the score is. We're staying till the bit. Like, I hated leaving games. I'm now a little bit more open-minded if it's a blowout.
Yeah.
But I don't care how late a World Series game goes. I want to be there until they postpone it till the next morning.
See, for me, high up on my pet peeve list is sitting in traffic. So that's like a very, very irritable thing for me personally. So that always spoils some of my experiences trying to avoid that, leaving a concert or game or whatever it may be. But yeah, I mean, obviously you got your money's worth last night because you got another game on top of the game that you paid for in LA. Crazy.
Free baseball, man. It would be fun to be there.
If they need a safety, tell them I know a guy.
How do you respond when your significant other notices that you've gained weight? And I'll give you an example, not to name any names, but his Instagram handle is rhymetime05. Apparently this morning, there was a felony in the Reimer house.
Uh-oh.
As Reimer's putting on his shirt, he's like, man, some of these clothes, they aren't fitting like they used to. And, you know, he's got this weird schedule now because he's got a 6-week-old child.
Yeah.
And so he's noticing that some of his T-shirts don't fit the same way they used to. And his wife goes, yeah, it's because you're about 240 right now. And he's like, excuse me, I'm about 210, thank you very much. So she added 30 pounds to Reimer. How do you respond to that?
I don't have a significant other. So this is all you right now as a married man over there, Dylan.
Man, oh man, how do you respond to that? I would just be hurt.
Cry?
Yeah, like I would make him feel bad. Like, come on, 240. Damn, listen, Reimer doesn't look bad. Come on, man. You just had a kid. I got a dad bod going.
He just had a kid. I guess it depends on the dynamics of your relationship.
Yes.
If you have that type of banter, that type of back and forth, you needle each other, and that stuff is in play, then I think you can get away from it. If it just comes out of left field and those things don't get brought up, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That is tough. I am like the friend, though. Like, I want to know. Like, if I've got, like, something in my nose, if I got something like, or if you feel like I need to lock back in, tell me. Like, I'm always that guy. Like, if you see me slipping, let me know.
I agree
so I can
with
lock
that.
back in.
I agree with that. Like, if the lady doesn't like what I'm looking like, then let me know.
Right.
And I'll go to the gym and dial it in. I'll get the diet going.
Yep.
Or say, hey, you're the one. You're like, hey, why don't we start going to the gym a little bit more? Put it on you. Like, okay, come on.
Yeah, let's
Come
do it
on.
together. Oh, wait a minute.
Pause.
Now let's flip this. Now let's flip the script. What happens if you notice that she's gaining weight?
You don't say a word.
You do not say anything.
you don't
Or
even
you
think
say, hey, man, I've been really trying to get back to the gym. I'd like you to, like, it motivates me when you go. Can you go with me?
Yeah. I don't even think you think that, let alone say it. Like, women are so smart that they would see you thinking it and probably get mad at you for doing it. But yeah, I think you stay away.
CTE has been going crazy this year.
And you're patient zero. What is a college campus / football stadium that you've always wanted to attend?
And for those that don't know who that was Antonio Brown. Go ahead, TT. I'll let you.
College
we'll play it
stadium?
again.
Yeah, go for it.
CTE has been going crazy this year.
So
That was from the CTE Awards.
Oh, because that was a thing.
Yeah.
That was actually a thing.
I think I'm going to try to actually go to Death Valley, the real Death Valley, for LSU Clemson night game to start next year. I'm going to make that a priority for me,
Nice.
so that is the one I would like to go to.
So you said just any stadium doesn't have to be Big Ten?
Anywhere. And I know that Dylan's probably been to all the Big Ten ones anyway.
Most of them. I haven't been to all of them, no.
Fire up the gong. That's a flex.
No, I
He
walked
did
him
it to
into
me.
it.
Come on. Come on.
I'm serious.
That's a flex.
When I typed out that question, I'm like, I know because Dylan did SGSR. He called the games. I'm like, I know he's been to all these stadiums. I'm going to walk him right into a gong.
Fellas, I think I got to do the Rose Bowl experience one time.
It's cool.
In person. Just everybody that's been out there says what you just said on TV. It looks absolutely beautiful. So I'll put the Rose Bowl up there for sure. And there's something about the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to feel that energy down there in Gainesville. So I'll go Rose Bowl in the swamp.
They're going to put pressure on Carolina. Excuse me.
Happens to the best of us, man. Happens to the best of us. I've had all-man attacks for years on this station. So, yeah, I get it right there. AR will be back in the house tomorrow on a hump day.
And it's National Chocolate Day. What's better, candy bars or candy that you can pick at?
Oh, man.
Like Swedish Fish, Mike and Ike's, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Does so is a Skittles candy you can pick at?
Yeah.
Is a Reese's considered a bar?
Yeah, but Reese's Pieces.
I'd rather do bar, I think, than candy you can pick at. I'm not much of like a fruit guy. I really like Skittles. I like Starburst. Reese's Pieces, M&M's all solid. Especially for like in here, like some M&M's going on. Like Dane likes to bring in some M&M's sometimes. I like that. But I'm more of a bar type guy. Give me my Twix, Kit Kat, Reese's, Snickers, Butterfinger, etc.
All day. Fast break. Like, those are just, man, like a white chocolate Kit Kat. Like, all of it. The bars is the way to go.
Yeah.
Another thing there, too, is that it's easier to keep track of how much you've eaten if you've eaten bars and not, like, just reaching into bowls.
That's true. I did a Fan Sports Saturday with those mini M&M's in here one time with Dane. I couldn't tell you how many I ate.
Crushed them.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon, how you feeling?
Dope as hell.
Thank you.
DT, appreciate you filling in for
thank
AR,
you,
my man.
guys.
TLC, great job on the board. Before we go, just a reminder, you can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. Adam King in for Common Man. CB in for Panama Ted. Timmy in the house. Don't move, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow at high noon. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The